Mom? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, say boo. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Auregalia, Aruri. You can call me Aruri, and I'm a wind-up doll Vtuber. Welcome to my ASMR stream. Is my BGM too loud? Check, check, Okay. Let me turn it a bit softer. Okay. Is this better? This is the loudest my mic can go. This is the loudest my mic can go. It's good? Okay. How did you guys like the new music for the starting screen? I have been getting copyrighted for every single stream. I can't use the old BGM anymore. I have to use new BGM, which is why I've been so busy, so stressed, looking for music. The struggle is real. In today's horror storytelling stream, the true horror is copyright claims. The true horror for VTubers and content creators are copyright claims. Copy strikes. Oh. Okay. I have to mute myself to sniffle because I'm still having a fever. As just like yesterday, I don't feel any better. I'm just not sneezing as much as yesterday, thankfully. Alright, let's take attendance. If you are here, say story time. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, let's see who's here. Gil S, thank you. 저작권 때문에 머리가 아파요. 저작권 때문에 머리가 너무 아파요. Let's see, we have Darius, we have Kurebi, we have Yosei, we have Shrimp, we have Night Bunny, we have Subeiro Freeman, we have Ben, welcome, we have Darren Root, we have Mercenary PDU, we have Pokonim, we have Ami, we have John, we have AZ, we have Wani, we have Majai, we have Spooky Squash, we have DJ Max Trim, we have Etalus Gatekeeper, we have Kureibi, we have Easy Kyles, we have Tada Barney, we have Kefianto, we have Krojak Crow, we have Ziza, and of course we have Stream Elements. And earlier I saw Departure here as well. Welcome. We have Honey. I'm maxing my speaker, please don't. There will be no screaming today. there will be no screaming today, and there will be no sound alerts today. I thought, well, there will be sound alerts, but they're very soft. At least to you. I don't know about to me. Maybe even though I lower it on OBS, maybe the sound is still loud to me. Okay. No thunder, tell Kurebi. Tell Kurebi. Okay. So I would do it. Kurebi's respect for ASMR is strong. Just in case you haven't, go subscribe to a channel called Kurebi ASMR. He's the true ASMR artist. Yes, that is right. Stop. It's so loud to me. That made me jump. What the heck? Can you guys hear it? Maybe it's soft to you. I nerfed the sound. So yeah. It is soft. Okay, good. Can't hear it. Soft. Gonna lurk. Okay, Tada. Fork donation sound, says Blaze. Hi Floor Mat. Hi Juno. Hi Joel. Okay, today's ASMR stream will be a horror storytelling stream. Feel free to submit to the Google form. The link is pinned in the chat or in the description box. Only English submissions only. I will not be doing any translation. Please. Azram is welcome. Hold my hand, I'm scared. Hold my hand, I'm scared. Okay. What way to do for 420? 420, well, the base of 420 is a death sentence in Malaysia. So that's why none of us are celebrating it. If you get caught, it's death sentence. It's illegal, unfortunately. As much as some of us would love to celebrate 420. No, the answer is no. Okay, with that being said, will you translate in grammar error? I would do my best. Because I have a very small brain. Because maybe even I don't understand. Feel free to submit true stories. It is all fun and games until the tag says true stories. Hi, serious. Feel free to submit true stories. Maybe I'll tell you guys some of my personal stories. But yes. Oh, Roger. Rogue Ranger Roger. Are we about to kiss? There you go. Should I turn off the lights? Yes, by all means. Alright, let's move over. Currently we have 29 submissions, and in case we finish early, I will be reading some creepypasta stories. Yes. First of all, why am I cropped? What on earth? Okay. Let me just... Hi. Hello. Okay. Ran out of your true stories. Guess you need to go back to touching grass. I'm sure you can experience some spooky moments in your own house. Just like I did. Are you picking a random? No, I am starting from the very first one. I have filtered through some. Some people told me what they posted were mistakes, in which I've deleted. Some were trolls, which I've also deleted. I don't mind jokes. I don't mind if it's lighthearted, but anything derogatory will be deleted. And anything cringy, not in a funny way, will also be deleted. Your neighbor's very haunting. They're so quiet nowadays. They're so quiet today too. Big Ludi, small Ludi. Alright. I had to look for dark mode for my Google form. It was very hard to find, but I'm happy that I found it. Zephy, how are you? They're probably listening to your ASMR. Maybe they're in my room. They gone balik kampung. Oh yeah, that's true. Maybe, because they've been quiet. Are you guys ready? But before we start, let's have a quick word from our sponsors. CK Music. Thank you, CK Music, for the Invictor headset. You can find them in Kuala Lumpur and Ipoh. The headset is very, very comfortable. It has spatial awareness. It also comes with Transporter DSP, where you can listen to this with bass boosted. Wouldn't that be nice? It also has a V command microphone, where you can take out or plug it in depending on what you need. If you are a streamer like me and you use an external microphone, feel free to not use the headphone microphone like me. Once again, check out CK Music at Kuala Lumpur and Ipoh. You can go to their website as well. Let me grab you a quick link so you can go check them out. Is my BGM too loud again? I'm sorry. I think I have to fix it. Is my BGM too loud again? Unfortunately, I had to private some videos because of the music copyright. Here is their websites. Oh, too long. Goddamn. Here. Please check them out. If you visit them, tell them you came from me. Okay. Once again, CK Music, thank you. Alright. Hi, Shin Arif. My house is spoopy. There's a specter hanging outside my gate, but my friend said it doesn't like to bother humans. Specter. For the wrong reason, I hear a subtle vibration like I got a message from my phone. When my phone is on silent, good. Stay that way. Stay that way. Alright. If you do hear something, pretend it is in the corner of your eyes. What if it's right in front of you? Alright, without further ado, let's get started. Hope you're not doing that door sound effect. Someone did it earlier. You can't really hear it, but I can. At full volume. We'll protect Pochita Plushie I do not have any plushie. It is just you, me, and the void. Alright, let's start with our first submission. First person, Footholder. Thank you, Footholder, for submitting. I'm assuming this is Aruri's Footholder. Title of story, Ta. Ta. And the story is, you can't even see it, taxes. The story is taxes. Thank you very much for your submission. Taxes can be very scary. However, if you don't get paid enough, you don't need file no taxes, just like me. Never had to pay taxes because I was never qualified. Thank you. Next. Sixten's gonna go crazy tonight. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Just be poor. I am. I just paid all of my bills. Joshua Neely, go ahead. The form will be open. Forever, I'm assuming. Can't get taxes if your income is 0. So true. That title gave me chills. Hantituka, my only weakness. Alright, next we have Darren Root. Title of story, The Unhappy Meal. What the heck, why does it keep cutting off? Hold on. Let me just move this up. Okay. Hey. Pasti, the scuffness is real. Apa tuh? Kenapa tuh? Okay. The Unhappy Meal. Story, English only. 1999, Burger King had a Pokemon promotion for the first movie. It was a toy in a form of Pokeball. How, unfortunately, it was recalled due to the capsule halves getting stuck to children's mouths, causing brain damage or death. Excuse me, hold on. Brain damage? What does Pokemon do to you? What are you doing to the Pokeball? Getting stuck in the mouth. How big is? I remember it being quite big. Isn't it huge? Creepypasta should be called The Unhappy Meal. The 2-sentence horror story title. Terrifying. Shoving things into their mouth. I used to do that. Warrior Pikachu. Oh Lord. Is this true? Is this real? This is a true story, isn't it? True story. Thank you. Terrifying. I wonder if those children are haunting Burger King. If so, maybe Burger King deserves it. Barely not big enough. Look up Burger King Pokeball recall. Maybe later. He'll manage to. I know, right? If you buy the gacha balls, they're huge. Unless you break it in half, I don't think it'll fit. Unless you were a kid with monster mouth, huge mouth. All right. Next, we have Floor Mat story. Title of story, Water. Oh, and I just drank some water. Everybody drink some water. Story. I haven't been washed since Aruri's debut. Not once. laundry. When? Question mark. I will read this again. I have not been washed since Aruri's debut. Not once. Laundry. When? Question mark. Stinky. Stinky question mark. British ghost. What does that mean? Juno, it is time to touch some water. Forget grass. Grass is overrated. Touch water. Touch water. Stinky. Smelly. Average Genshin player. Gamer energy. I relate. I'm just kidding. Sprays for Breeze. Hashtag not sponsored. Thank you, floor mat. I hope you take a shower. Why didn't they wash the dishes? That is true. Then at least their hands would be clean. Alright, next story. We have Kuro Jack Crow. Kuro Jack Crow 21. Title story. Have you seen the terror known as a man? Ooh. Alright. This was years ago. Since my family has a history of sinusitis, my mom's friends introduced us to this supposedly traditional Islamic healing practitioner. We were skeptical because usually it is one of the sussy black magic guys pretending to be religious. But eventually we went after seeing vids of the practitioner supposedly reciting Islamic prayers, so it seemed legit. I was still skeptical, but I was just a kid, so I had no say in this. At the house, there was a TV in the living room showing the treatment of previous patients who were supposedly possessed. However, as I kept watching the vids while waiting for my turn, I noticed that all of the previous patients were all young women. Alarm bells were ringing in my head, and I prayed for my mom's safety. Soon it was my turn. I lay down and closed my eyes for treatment. The practitioner spread something sticky on my face. I could feel little things crawling on my face. Everyone was amazed, saying, "Wow, the sickness is really coming out of his face in the form of blood and worms." I immediately knew that this son of a bitch was spreading those things directly onto my face. After that, the dude made me drink a whole coconut of coconut water. Bro, I will pray for your downfall, you chicken nugget. Very aggressive. Weeks later, my prayers were answered. This dude was caught. The horrible thing is that he wasn't caught just because of a scam and sussy black magic, but because he had been ruining the chastity of the women patients. All of those girls I saw on TV. Damn. So rather than being worried about ghosts, I think you should look properly at the humans around you. You know, this happens very often when people are vulnerable. Other people will take advantage of them. They will say things like, "Don't worry, this is to cast out evil. This is to cast out demons." There's actually a documentary on Netflix about this Korean cult. You can go check it out. I forgot what it's called. I think similar things happen. He preys on young women and, does things with them and tells them that it's to cast out evil, is to make things better, or to be God's wife or some shit like that. So yes, humans are terrifying. It's always the humans. The last phrase is something that my great grandma used to say. She's not wrong. Is this a true story? Is this a true story? They said yellow colored worms on my face. How do people not see the guy put it on your face? Thanks, Joshua. Usually most dangerous can be humans, can be humans themselves. That's true. This makes Tua look like a better person, or the monster in this scenario. That's gross. Yellow worms, yellow worms. I have a question. Is your mom okay? Because you said you started praying for your mom's safety. You bit? Yellow worm maggots? Black magic shenanigans, it seemed, but yeah, you were given the chance to see through the trick. I think that's a good thing. I love this. I immediately knew that this son of a bitch was spreading those things. I will pray for your downfall, you chicken nugget. Chicken nugget. I love this. I'm gonna start calling people chicken nuggets. You stupid ass chicken nugget. Mealworms, oh god. In case curse goes after the mother, oh lord. Sorry, shrimp. Fortunately, it was in front of other people, thankfully. Thankfully. The terror known as a man. Be careful who you hang out with. And take care of yourself, guys. Go to a hospital with other people. Have them accompany you while you're with a doctor. Because even some doctors can take advantage of you. Thank you, Kuro Jackro. People are cringe. Maggots, yellow in color, oh lord. But chicken nuggets are tasty, that is so true. Dr. Quack. Dr. Quack, quackity quack, quack, quack. Alright, next we have Max. Thank you, Max. Title of story. Help. Oh, I remember this one. I briefly scrolled through a few. I'm in the parking lot of this unknown mall. I'm being followed. Please someone call for help. I'm trying to walk fast to not alert this guy. I can't see his face. He's wearing a black ghost face mask. Please help. Please help. I don't think I have enough time. He's picking up his pace. Again, Max. Send help. I'm no longer in the parking lot, but I'm in the stairway. But I can still hear and see him. Please, someone help. I can hear him. I have to run. The mall is quiet. I don't know where. Please, someone help, help. He's chasing up to me. Resub. Thank you for the resub. I hope you make it out alive, Max. He not dead? We don't know. Max, if you're here, give us a sign. If you are here, give us a sign. Max. Oh no. Oh no. Be careful. Thank you, Max, for the submission. He resubbed. Thank you for the resub. Thank you for the resub. Judging that Max can submit this, my guess that he's alive. Maybe next time, tweet it to Twitter, because Google Forms will only be read on stream. Maybe you can tweet it, so then the whole world can see it. maybe, question mark. Question mark. I'm sorry, I can't help you. Darkest mech ninja. You're getting scared. It is quite terrifying. Next, we have John. John submitted. The plastic bag sound of room 508. The plastic bag sound of room 508. Using the Ouija board, Max, if you're here, give us a sign. Plastic bag. Ooh. Alright. This was a story back in my university days. Ooh, true story. Once in a while, my roommates and I would like to sit around in our room and share some paranormal stories happening around us. It was again this sleepless night. After we had our supper, we gathered in the center of the room and shared some stories. In order to have this horror story moment, we turned off the ceiling lamp of the room and left our table lamp on. During one particular story, it left a strong impact on all of us. The story happened in one of the girls' dormitories of our school. About 20 years ago, there was a female student found dead inside one of the dormitories, room 508. After some police investigation, the school set up some kind of ritual to cleanse the room and reopen new students. A few years later, there was some rumor about the room. The room felt chilly even though it was summer. Unexplainable plastic bag sound when sleeping. Frequent sleeping paralysis. The rumors are getting intense, and students living in the dorm were getting unease. The school vacated the room, and eventually years later they sealed the room. Every time you went to this floor of dormitory, you will see door number 507 and 509. But there's also an awkward large space between these two rooms. Some students claimed that they could still hear the plastic sound, especially when they were using the bathroom in the front of the sealed room 508. Spark! A loud noise suddenly startled us. It was pitch black. Again? Cried one of our roommates. It was an old dorm, so sudden power outage happened sometime, but this time it was different. All of us heard this heavy breathing sound inside a plastic bag. Insert breathing in plastic bag sound. I don't have a plastic bag. Dang. I feel like, was this person murdered? Breathing in plastic bag sound. Quiet. Takeda-kun, welcome. Dark Assassin, never too late. This is terrifying. This gave me chills. Heavy breathing sound inside a plastic bag. Quiet. Choked to death with a plastic bag. Yes, I think they were murdered. I think it's quite impossible to kill yourself with a plastic bag. Quiet. This is why you shouldn't throw plastic bags into the ocean, because this could have been a sea turtle. At least not sniffing glue. That also involves breathing and plastic bag. Oh my god. And glue. I'm getting chills. John, is this a true story? I feel like it might be a true story. This was a story back in my university. Almost true story. That's terrifying. That's terrifying. What did you guys do afterwards? Did you guys Did you guys manage to get the lights on, or did you just sit there in silence with the breathing sound? Hurt is one of the worst way to kill. Terrifying. So you guys just went to sleep. You know what that means? That means it's not restricted to the room. That means it can follow you wherever you are. No matter if you're in 508 or any room in the university. Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Wanna play your plastic sound? The nickname is Plastic Sound. Are you shivering, Aruri? I am. I feel like this flu is giving me a lot of shivers. I haven't slept with the fan on today at all, which is rare. Thank you, John, for the submission. Suffocating is a horrible way to go. Hope you're doing well, Dark Assassin. Next, we have Malactory with 2 exclamation mark. Oh, note the 3 exclamation points, even though there are only 2. Ah, maybe 1 is upside down. Thank you, Asu. Thank you, Nemi. Hope you guys are doing well. Ooh. Title of story: The Haunted House of Lost Dreams. Ooh, okay. It was a dark and not stormy night, and not stormy at all night in 1999. I was but a young Malactory living a meager life in a boarding house. It was like a peaceful existence for a time, despite the fact that I and the meat shields for any potential drive-bys I called everyone else were smack dab in the middle of crack Hellas, also known to people who actually speak proper fucking English as Detroit. Look, I didn't live there. It was just a temp thing. Anyways, a peaceful existence for a time until that night. There I was trying to eat dinner, shoving viciously vicious vanilla pudding down my mouth like I was one of the Willy Wonka's newest candy testers, swiped straight from a famine fever society, when suddenly the lights got dimmer. And I don't mean in that cheap romantic way either. It was raw terror boiling down the house and its pathetically wimpy-hearted denizens. I'm sure at least 14 of the older residents died of a heart attack right then and there. But it's okay. They were in the attic. Their screams were faint. Ooh. For some reason, the sudden lack of light meant that most of the punks were now in their element, since there had to be a reason why most of them were middle-aged, godless, and living in this dump. But we can save that for another time. No power equals no plumbing for some weird reason. I think it was just a Detroit thing. Don't ask, accept the process, or don't. That kind of passiveness is why no one likes it. No one likes it here. Moving on. There was a church across the street. I'd love to tell you more about it, but I've run out of words, and thus a reason to persist. Cries immolate. Wait, hold on. I'm sure at least 14 of the older residents died of a heart attack right then and there, but it's okay. They were in the attic. Their screams were faint. Isn't that absolutely terrifying to you, though? Thank you, Dan Alexander, for the subscribe. Huh. So, are you saying at least 14 people died that night? In the same house? Because of blackout? Ma, astaga. Crying in tune with the Raya song. That's hilarious. Malactory. Maybe someday you can tell us about the church. The church down the street. I'd love to know. Thank you for submitting. Malactory with 3 exclamation points. Why were they in his or her attic? Oh, that is such a good question. Why were the elder people in the attic? Hello, Aaron Kelly, welcome. What's your favorite kind of horror story? True horror stories. I love true stories. They get me because I feel like they could happen to me anytime. So they're absolutely terrifying. Next, we have Zaito. Title of story: a floral fragrance that ends with a horrible stench. Light Fluey, welcome. Hope you enjoy your stay here. Busybody elder, always looking into people's business. All 14 of them died of heart attack in the attic. Zaito, here's yours. Ooh. This story takes place in Malacca, at Jalan Sungai Putat, which connects Bukit Beruang and Batu Berendam. If you're familiar with it, you will know that there's a huge Chinese graveyard when passing through it. Ooh. The story started with my brother and myself on the way home after a birthday party around 1 a.m., which we would need to pass through the graveyard to get home. Everything seems normal until we saw a lady waving her hand on the roadside, which my brother wanted to stop and ask her what happened. However, the me who watched too many horror stories knew that something was wrong, as the lady was wearing plain white dress without carrying any bags, wearing shoes, or even have any car breakdown nearby. So I asked my brother to speed up instead of ignoring her, but everything was too late as her figure went missing from the side mirror view as we passed through her. But plumeria floral fragrance started to spread in the car. At this point, I looked to my brother, and he know well that we have a Pontianak or Kuntilanak in the car, when the smell appeared out of nowhere, which I decide to blast the radio as loud as I can and ignoring the smell. However, as time goes by, the smell started to become a horrible stench, like a dead corpse, which was getting very unbearable. And what makes it worse was that I started to feel nails scratching my arm and neck. At this point, even I am in cold sweats from all of the touch. I turned to my brother and was relieved to see that he was fine, which means I was the only one being disturbed. The situation got bad as I started to feel the nails digging into my neck like nails being pushed into it. As the pain is getting worse, everything stops. The smell, the touch, and the pain. As I was feeling relief, I started to hear a laughing voice coming from outside the car, where I end up seeing a motorbike with a couple and their child riding on it, which I do not care much. Once reaching home, I checked on my neck and arm, but do not see any mark or bleeding, which was good, but I still feel the pain on my neck. But what made me stun cold was when I was talking to my brother about the experience, as we tried to laugh it off to ease ourselves. He asked if I saw the motorbike passing us with a father and a child riding on it. I could not bring myself to tell him that I saw a lady on it as well. You should know who the extra passenger on the bike is. Ah, terrifying. Dewi, welcome, also Theon. This kind of story never ends well. So, end up seeing, okay, as the feeling disappeared, and as you were feeling relief, you started hearing a laughing voice coming from outside the car, and you end up seeing a motorbike with a couple and your child riding on it. A couple, which you don't care for much, but your brother saw a father and a child riding on it. Kawaii na. Mangilai, I see. That welcome. Feel free to submit a horror story. Is this a true story? Absolutely terrifying. What flower was it again? Plumeria floral. That's terrifying. I wonder who decides for them to smell like flowers. When you turn into a ghost, do you get to pick and choose your perfume? Because why do you get to smell like flowers? You know what I mean? Like, what do they have to do with flowers? I hear this a lot. I heard jasmine floral scent. Something that if a pontiana is near you, you smell jasmine. This can happen. You start smelling something floral, thinking never speak about it and try to ignore. I see. Oops, sorry. That's the flower they're buried with. Depends on the flower people leave on your grave, or the flower they plant at your graveyards. How do you get to decide whether you want to be a kuntilanak or a pontianak? Do you just wake up like how you wake up as a vampire and then you go, well, I guess I'm a vampire? Is that how it works? Or early in the morning, a lot of flowers bloom in the late evening. I see. People put dried flowers, instance to hide the smell of decay. I like to choose lavender. I think you don't get to choose. It's more like the people who loves you. What do they leave on your grave? This is absolutely terrifying, Zaito. Plumeria's flower trees are usually planted in graveyards. Wait, sorry, hold on a minute. You said it was a Chinese graveyard. I thought Pontianak is a Malay ghost. Oh shit. I think maybe us Chinese people gotta watch out too. Certain kind of perfume people use at mosque is synonym with the scent of death. Oh. You know what? I think maybe Pontianak applies to all Malaysians. You know what I mean? Plot hole AO. That is terrifying. Could be a Chinese Muslim cemetery. Oh, that is so true. For me, I feel like different cultures experience different kind of supernatural creatures, right? For example, in the Western world, they hear a lot about poltergeists and demons, and they don't really have things that we do here in Asia. Even the way their ghosts look different from ours, according to how they describe it. For us, we see a lot of humanoid and mostly women in women form, right? Or in a very horrid state of death. In the States, it's more like just shape, shadow, outline, It was a Christian Malay ghost, I think. Don't know if it's true, but if you face one kuntilanak or pontianak, you need to put a nail behind their neck. That's why Mika Malatika from Ishanji, her avatar got a big nail How would you do that? Also, do people just walk around with nails? Don't go smell like rafflesia. That's interesting. I wonder what happened to the motorbike passengers. Cause like, it's hitchhiking, you know what I mean? It's like hitchhiking. And I wonder if the child noticed it. Because usually they do. They become human, and a very pretty human. Nails and Pokemon with the move curse, eh? Well, I hope they're safe. I could look for Pondiana, turn them into their partner, eh? Really? That's messed up. That's messed up. Nails taken up became enraged, I see. Well, they're forced to look pretty, you know? They're forced to sit there and look pretty. Thank you, Zaito, for the very eerie story. Hopefully hop off from the bike. I hope so too. I hope they are safe. Yeah, I think I don't think humans would date them, you know. Next we have Ewi. Title of story: It is not a portrait. Most of the story, if you ride a motorcycle and suddenly it becomes heavy, you got a passenger. Yes, I've heard of that too. Also bicycles. Yeah. Alright. It was the school holidays, and my family and I went back to my great-grandmother's house. It was a super old house with no electricity, but it held so many memories of my childhood. We reached there in the evening, and we were greeted by my great-grandmother. We talked together over dinner, reminiscing about old times. Later on, my parents decided to go out to visit some relatives, but my younger sibling and I opted to stay back in our own room. The room was pitch black, with no source of light whatsoever. It was so dark that I could barely see my own hand in front of my face. We tried to settle in and go to sleep, but something didn't feel right. As I lay there, I noticed something odd at the end of my bed. It looked like a portrait of a man, but I just couldn't make out the details because it was so dark. I tried to shake off the feeling and told myself that it was probably just my imagination. Eventually, I managed to drift off to sleep. The next day, I woke up to bright sunlight streaming in through the window. Hold on, window? As I looked around, I noticed that the portrait from the night before was nowhere to be found. It was then that I realized that it wasn't a portrait at all. It was an open window that had been letting in the chilly night air. The realization sent chills down my spine. Who or what did I saw? As we left the old house, I couldn't help but feel relieved to be leaving those strange feelings behind. But deep down, I knew that the memory of that night would stay with me forever. And it did. Hey. That's terrifying. That's terrifying. Noticed something at the odd end of my bed. It looked like a portrait of a man, but I couldn't make out details because it was so dark. Wow. I've heard of a variant of this one. Yes, the peeping Tom. Well written, indeed. Especially the ending, indeed. Anyway, you were a good writer. It sounds like a true story. Yeah. Did you know that at the end of my bed, there's actually a window, but it doesn't look outside? The other side of the window is the storeroom. And then on the other side of the storeroom is the actual window that leads to outside. Sometimes, when I wake up in the middle of the night, I try not to look at the window because I feel like I might see something there. And if I did, what I feel is not comfort, because even if I saw something, it doesn't mean it's outside. It means it's inside of my house, which is why I try not to even look at it. Because if it's there, that means it's in my storeroom. And I can't lock the window because that's where my Ethernet cable comes in. So it is closed, but there's a small, tiny little gap that is open. And if anything were to crawl in, again, the window is not locked, so it can probably get in. Yeah. Very creepy indeed. And you know, the bed used to not face the window. It used to be more like on the side. But my mom moved it, so the foot of the bed is actually the window. Put some paper on my mom wouldn't let me. We have a curtain, but it's a very, very thin curtain. And you can see through if somebody shines a light. You will see a shadow, like a silhouette. And I've been scared by my mom a few times when I was in bed, and she was in, the storeroom, because it's quite small. You don't need to turn the lights on. So yeah. You need a shotgun with holy slugs. I have the power of the Holy Spirit with me. Does it seem like good feng shui? No, not at all. This house is old, and I feel like I've told you guys before, my sister, she experienced some scary... Listen, in my past life, when I did a horror storytelling stream, something touched me on my arm in this exact same room, and I freaked out on stream. Yeah, I'm telling you, this used to be my sister's room. I used to share another room with my younger brother. It was like a bunk bedroom. It was small. But I had to come to this room because ever since I started streaming, I had to use a PC, which means I needed more room. And the cable wouldn't go through the other room, so we had to route it through this window. Yeah. Can't remember. Moonlight behind tree made shadow to my room, and that shadow looked like a demon. Oh lord. I have a window behind my bed, and I hear scratching every night. Does Jetto sleep beside you? Sometimes, but usually at night he sleeps outside because he has to eat, he has to poop. Otherwise I have to wake up and open the door for him, which breaks my sleep. So usually he sleeps outside and I'm alone in my room. Yeah. So this room, the walls are painted yellow. The room walls are painted yellow. Every time I take a selfie or take a photo of something, it looks darker than it is, and I don't like it. We're still saving up to paint the house. My mom wants to change it to something brighter, but for now I'm stuck with a yellow room, which honestly looks a lot like the back rooms. The back room color. Yeah. Jetto can, he can, but not my bedroom door. My parents' bedroom door has the handle. My bedroom door has the knob. He cannot open the knob. Yeah, he can only open the handle. So have Jetto with you. Okay. Used to be in a room where 2 of the 4 sides of the room are actually windows, and that room was scary for me because it used to be my uncle's room, but since he married, he moved out, so I've been staying there. I'm already unfazed by the amounts of glass knocking on my window. Still scared, but I just sleep and ignore it. Also, I think it's raining because I hear the thunder. Yes. Alright. Thank you, Ewi, for sending in your story. Oh no, it's not thunder. It's fireworks. They're playing fireworks. Alright. Hey, Fruit Punch Samurai. Hey, Aruri, can we submit our story right now? The form is still open. Yes, feel free by all means. Feel free to submit more than one. Sorry, out of topic question. Is Hari Raya tomorrow or the day after? Because I heard you have to observe the moon or something, right? Day after tomorrow. Oh, okay. Okay, we'll hold on to it. Oh, it's Saturday. Day after. Tomorrow. We don't know. Tomorrow and day after. How about Malaysia? That's so confusing. Saturday. Moon sighting. Oh, okay. That means we need to fast for one extra day. Is that it? Saturday. Okay. I will hold back on my wishes. I will hold back on my wishes until then. Okay. Thanks. Thanks for letting me know. I'm very uncultured. I tried to Google it, and I couldn't get a direct answer. I want to tell everyone that I regret my attitude. Ayo, attitude. Intriguing. We'll get to you very soon. Alright. Next we have Ace. Thank you, Ace, for submitting. Title of story: The Invincible Friend. Not invisible, but the invincible friend. Invincible. Okay. It all happened when I was in secondary school. Me and my friend decided to go over to his house to hang out with him during the weekends, and we set the date for it. When the day comes, I got ready and prepared to head to his house, but since it is my first time going to his house, I have to call him so that I know where would I go. In the meantime, we had a very confusing time because both of us didn't know directions well. So he handed his phone to his mom to give a more detailed route. After a while, I reached his house and saw his mother and 2 kids outside waiting for me. One boy being carried, and the other, a girl, was holding on his mom's hand. I went into his house and had fun until later afternoon. I started to get hungry and went downstairs to eat the takeaway that I brought, and noticed that the little girl is nowhere to be found. So I asked my friend about it, and to my surprise, he said that there's never a little girl ever been in this house before. At the moment, I was stunned, frustrated, and scared. I told him I swear I saw a little girl before I went into his house, and his face just showed me everything that he's actually telling me the truth. Fast forward after a few years, I saw my friend again in a gathering, and I told him about that incident again. And he told me that his dad actually adopted a baby ghost, a voodoo doll. I was stunned till today because I can remember every little detail of that little girl. The way she dresses, her face, and how she did her hair. All of it. Wow. Been Googling it all day. Thanks, Google, for answering me. I know, right? It wouldn't just tell me what day it was Raya. I was like, what? Phantom Child. Voodoo doll. Yeah, Kumantong, right? Damn. I'm surprised they can dress up or do their hair. That's terrifying. But I guess they do grow up like a child, like a real child, just in the spirit world. And I'm surprised your friend never saw it. New gen Kumantong with the TikTok hairstyle. and the TikTok makeup and the TikTok outfits. Goddamn sheesh. I hope this is not a true story. That's terrifying. I've heard about adopting ghost babies before. Apparently they have to pay the price to adopt them too. Yes, my friend did it. I think they had to pay, I don't know, like 500 ringgit or something. But the one they got, if I remember correctly, was like it didn't come with powers. Like you have to hone the powers. You can pay more to adopt, I guess, the ones that are already skilled, which means they can bring you wealth, they can bring you prosperity, good health, protect you. But otherwise you have to hone it. You have to grow them yourself. Yeah. The ghost child wears designer clothing. What's it called? Invincible friend. I think they meant invisible. The invisible friend. That's terrible. If your dad adopted a ghost baby, doesn't that make it your sibling? I heard they play with toys and it's audible. Yes. So what happened to my friend was, and I mentioned this on stream before, we were in high school, by the way, and she was just curious. Okay. She and her cousin, they were just curious. They wanted to see if it was real, so they went to a shaman and they brought a pendant home. It comes in a pendant form. That inside lives a baby ghost. Okay, the shaman told her that you need to feed the baby ghost and you need to give it toys to play. Yeah, you need to give it toys to play. So my friend was like, okay, since it's a baby, let me go buy some baby toys. It's actually quite a funny story. So she went to buy the kind of baby toy that looks like what's it called? A karimba? It was like the kind that shakes. There's sand on the inside. It goes chip 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 chip. That kind. She bought it. Of all the fucking toys, she bought that one. And she said, in the middle of the night, and she sleeps alone, by the way. Oh yes, a rattle. She sleeps alone, by the way. I've been to her house a few times. She said in the middle of the night, the fucking thing started rattling. Constantly. She could hear it move around her room, and mind you, her room is not big. Her bed is quite tall. So she said she heard it move around her room. And she was so scared that she didn't sleep the entire night. The next day she came to school, she told us about it. And then she returned it. She returned the baby. You can't just give it away, because just like a child, it can get attached to its mother, right? Or its parent. So you have to in Chinese we call it 请回去, which means you have to like invite them back. Like they need to willingly go back. And because she only had it for one day, the baby thankfully went back. And yeah, it was absolutely terrifying. She said she laughed about it because she said of all the toys she could have gotten, she got the rattling toy, the noisiest toy. Yeah, exactly. Why buy a toy that makes sound? We laughed at her so hard in school, we actually cracked up. But as funny as it is, the truth is, it exists. And I trust her and I believe her because she's never the person who would make up shit. She never made up story. We were classmates for like, I don't know, like 9 years. Like we know when she's telling, and she ain't never gonna tell us any lie when it comes to like spiritual stuff because she herself is a skeptic. So yeah, it's interesting to hear someone like that tell you that something like that is true. And so never again will she ever go near those things. Yeah. should have given it. I don't think she could have afforded her own iPad to start with. I think she was like, oh, heck, 16, 17. Thank you, Ryo Shinobu, for the subscribe. So yeah, ghost babies, they could exist all over you, and you might not know it, because allegedly, casinos like to they like to adopt baby ghosts. Yeah, that's how they control the market. That's how they get so much winnings. And my mom got intel from her friend, allegedly, that there's nearly like 200-300 baby ghosts inside of a casino. I'm not gonna say which casino, but there's only one in Malaysia. Allegedly. So if you guys go gamble, as soon as you win, stop. Because you might lose more than you can afford. Because you were going against not humans, not machines, but these things, and they're gonna suck your blood dry. There's so many Asian horror stories and scary beings that I have no idea. It is scary, especially because I believe in the supernatural beings and spirits, yes. I don't think, because this ghost baby came from Thailand, I don't think in Western culture you guys have like baby ghosts like this. These baby ghosts are not just ghosts that are babies. They are baby ghosts. They have a motive to exist. Like they're forced to exist, to be upon. They're like a kind of like a talisman. They're used for something, and most of the time it's for wealth. It's for safety, things like that. You're gambling on Twitch, yo. You can gamble with Pokemon. I think that's pretty safe. Kumantong, yes. Hi MIF. Stories are quite creepy. Saddest one, I heard his daughter died and got readopted by her father. I don't remember how the story goes. Parents tried gambling there in their first casino, won a bit, and all night all they can think is, if I play more, I can win more. It's always like this. Here's the thing. Because I come from a Chinese family, people here love casinos, okay? They love to gamble, they freaking go on cruises, okay? Here's how it goes. When you win, for example, 1,000 ringgit, okay? Dip. You have to go. Because you're going to think, oh, I just won 1,000. I can win more. So the more you play, you're gonna think the more you're gonna win. So you sit there for the whole night, trying to win more than 1,000 when you've already spent more than 1,000. You've already spent all the money you just won back. And by the end of the night, you lost it all. It's usually like this. You'll never fully win. So as soon as you win, even just a little bit, stop, come back the next day. Something like that. Trust me. There's more supernatural stories in Malaysia alone, yes. Some of them requires blood, small amount is offering, yes. I think that's how you feed them. Personally, will stay away from those deals. You can lose more than what you can get, yes. I don't gamble, but I have witnessed too many people gambling that I just know it doesn't end well. Same goes with horse gambling. You know, the horse racing. Realistic horror is more terrifying. I don't know, both are terrifying. Know when to quit when you want a little, yes. Gamble makes it both. So if you ever go to the casino, even if you're just curious and if you go just for shits and giggles, after winning a little bit, stop. You gotta stop right there, because you will never win more than that. They never let you. I won as much as I gambled and quit. Yeah, a lot of people do that because it's just like an experience, right? They're not really there for the money. Some people do gamble as a living. But that means you lose more. So yeah, thank you Ace for the submission. Can't stop my Yu-Gi-Oh gacha. I think Yu-Gi-Oh is safe. Also, I don't think my neighbors left because I just heard them knocking on the floor again. Alright, next we have Sushi, a caprice, aka priest. And the sushi is blue because I had to use a inverted theme for the black Google form. Gamble for a thrill. My father-in-law just dumped 500 on a single game and just on a whim. Yeah, just for the thrill, but you can't be addicted because you will never win. Eliza Roy, hello, welcome. Time to wear my headphone. Yes. Title of story: Doggy. There was once a little girl around 9 years old that was doing homework home alone. Her math homework was pretty hard, so she decided to go get her phone and ask a classmate what's the answer. The classmate replied and said, "I'm not home," they said. "Oh, okay then, I'm sorry." The girl didn't mind it, so she asked another classmate. The classmate gave her the answer and she went to finish her homework. She heard a knock at the door and went to see who it was. There was no one, but she didn't think of it because she heard she had a dog, so maybe it was the dog. At night, her parents texted her, "Honey, we're on our way back home. Go get ready to sleep, okay? Take care." She went to brush her teeth, but then she heard a knock on the door. She thought it was her parents, so she screamed, "Coming!" She went to open the door. It was windy and rainy. The only thing that was there is her dog. She told him to stop doing that or he wouldn't get treats tomorrow. She went to sleep thinking nothing of what happened. The next day her parents weren't home, so she texted them, "Mom, Dad, where are you?" No response. 1 hour passes, still no response. She decided to get ready for school, and as soon as she packs her lunchbox, she heard a knock. Excuse me. She was a little angry, thinking it was the dog again. She went to open the door, and there was her friend Emily Brooklyn. "What are you doing here, Emily?" she asked. "Oh, I thought you wanted to go to school together." "Ah, okay, let's go." The girl got everything she needed and went outside. She looked around and didn't see her dog anywhere. "Where's my dog?" she asked. "Oh, I don't know. Maybe he's hiding somewhere." The dog couldn't have been hiding anywhere because the space was small and nowhere to hide. They went to school and started English class. The time passes and it's time to go home. She went home alone, and when she got there, she found a phone in the dog's cage. It was Emily's phone. The day passed and her parents texted her, "Honey, get out of the house fast." "Why?" she replied. "The dog. What's wrong with it? The dog is your friend Emily. I just came and I'm outside. The dog is walking in 2 legs, perfectly balanced." "What? Get out as soon as you open a door. It will go back to normal." "How do you know it's Emily?" "I saw her shapeshift. So that's why I didn't see the dog when I walked to school with Emily." "Yes, the dog also has a phone." "What? It must be her phone, but I took it inside." "Honey, stop texting me and come outside acting like you're going to the store. I will call the cops as soon as you get out of the house. And the dog, aka Emily, can walk through walls too." "Oh shit. Okay, I'm coming." The girl gets out of the house acting like she's going to the store and found her mom. They walked away and called the cops. The cops came and the girl was scared. As soon as the cop came, the cops and the mom turned into monsters and she was scared and ran away. She found a place to hide and called her grandma on FaceTime. The grandma answered the phone, but it wasn't grandma, it was a creepy dog. The girl covered her mouth, trying not to scream, and closed her phone. 8 hours passed, and she thought that if her mom and grandma can be creepy dogs, maybe she could be one too. She tried to become one, but she failed, and she started to cry, thinking that once they find her, she will die. She didn't want to die, so she tried not to cry so loud. Hours passed, and it's 3 a.m. She heard dogs coming nearby her. She was scared as hell and tried not to make a sound. The dogs found her and ate her. What? Hold on, what? Honey, get out of the house fast. The dog is your friend Emily. I just came and I'm outside and the dog is walking in 2 legs perfectly balanced. I saw her shapeshift. The dog has a phone. Honey, stop texting me. Come outside and act like you're going to the store. I will call the cops as soon as you get out of the house. The dog or Emily can walk through walls too. She called the cops. The cops came and she was scared. As soon as the cop came, the dog, the cop, and the mom turned into monsters. Even grandma was a creepy dog. Is this a what's that called? Wendigo situation? Wendigo? You know the ghost that the creature that shapeshifts? Skinwalker? Is it a skinwalker? It sounds like a skinwalker. Furry can't be getting wet. Skinwalkers. I think they eat humans, right? Dog walker. That's whack. Terrifying. The dog is walking in 2 legs perfectly balanced. That's scary. Thank you, Sushi, for submitting. I've heard a lot about people hearing knocks on the doors, and when they answer it, they don't see anything. Bitter ending. It was a bad ending. Shapeshifts like a monster from the movie The Things. What is The Things? Also, hello, Artificial. Wendigo are those zombie cannibal things. I think Wendigo are humans that cannibalize for eternal health, eternal, what's it called? To live forever. That story was weird, yeah. Yeah, Skinwalker. I probably mentioned this horror story before. There was this girl. She was home alone with her dog. Right? She was home alone with her dog, and she has a tiny little puppy, and she would let her dog out to pee before going to sleep. And she remembered letting her dog out to pee before she closed the door, and she let her dog in and closed the door. And then she went to sleep. But in the middle of the night, she heard her dog barking from her backyard. And so she got up and she was like, ugh, did I forget to let my dog in after peeing? You know, because she did it every day. She wasn't sure if she let her dog in. So she was like, oh, maybe I forgot to let the dog in. So she opened the door and she looked out and she couldn't see her dog anywhere. So she kept walking towards the sound of where her dog was barking. And behind her backyard is just the woods. And when she was getting closer to the dog's barking sound, she looked up and she just see a skinwalker holding onto the tree barking like her dog. Yeah, she ran in, shut the door. So these skinwalkers, they can mimic noises, sounds. They can look like they can look like someone you know. Yeah. Terrifying, isn't it? It can be an animal too. Remember that creepypasta? Humans can. I beg your pardon. That's kind of right. Though they lose their humanity, they eat human flesh. Yeah, I think Wendigo. People who eat other people to get immortality. Yeah, that's what I thought. And they look. Their bodies look weird. Like kind of like not human-like. Bark back. Sound like chat, oh lord. I didn't watch JoJo. Look around me, try not to be sus. Yeah. Alright, next we have J Laser. Tell of story, The Uninvited Guest. Lena had just moved into her new apartment, excited to start a new chapter of her life. The first night in her new home, she went to bed early, tired from all the unpacking she had done that day. But she couldn't sleep. Something just didn't feel right. As she lays there, she heard a faint scratching sound coming from the closet. She sat up, listening carefully. The scratching grew louder, more persistent. She got out of bed and approached the closet cautiously, her heart pounding in her chest. As she opened the closet door, she saw a pair of glowing eyes staring back at her from the darkness. Lena stumbled backwards, tripped over her own feet and falling to the floor. She scrambled to her feet and ran out the room, slamming the door behind her. The next day, Lena tried to convince herself that it had all just been her imagination. She went about her day, trying to ignore the nagging feeling that something was off. But as nightfall approached, she couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. She went to bed early, hoping to get some rest. But as she lays there, she heard the scratching sound again. This time, it was louder, more insistent. Lena gathered up her courage and opened the closet door again, only to find it empty. She was about to turn away when she heard a rasping breath behind her. She spun around and saw a figure standing in the doorway, its eyes glowing in the darkness. Lena screamed and ran out of the room, her heart racing. The next day, Lena moved out of the apartment, never looking back. She never found out what had been in that closet, but she knew that she had been the uninvited guest in that home, and that whatever had been there before her did not want her there. That's scary. I thought it was like louder, more insistent, and when she went to the closet, it was empty. But when she turned around, she saw that it was under her bed scratching. I think that would have been terrifying. Maybe Wendigo don't have the ability to mimic voice. Ayo. I don't think I can sleep tonight. Hey, lock your closet doors. Jay Laser, the guy who animates one of Jacksepticeye's video. Oh yeah, I don't know. When she was the uninvited guest and not the ghoul. That's very interesting. Whatever had been there before did not want her there. Have you guys experienced this? Like closet horror stories? I know a lot of people have experienced closet horror stories. I have child safe locks, child-proof locks on my closet because my cat would open it and he'd put his fur all over my clothes. So I kind of lock my closet doors so he wouldn't go in. But what about you guys? Hi Lord Peace, welcome. No, fortunately, because I know a lot of people do, and it's kind of terrifying. Fortunately, I didn't ever experience it and wouldn't want to. So far, no, and not hoping to have one in the future. I hope we never do. I hope we never do. Thank you, J Laser, for a spooky story. Next, we have Moon Boy. You have no idea how happy I am to see this name. In my past life, this person also submitted quite a good numbers of horror story for me to tell. So, I'm really excited. Thank you for dropping by again. Moon Boy, it's been a while. I know, it's so nostalgia. Title of story. I worked in a 24-hour convenience store. Aruri. 3 a.m. and no customers. As I spent my time watching your VODs, I heard a knock on a glass door. I look up, and right by the door, with only the lights from the convenience store for me to see, was a woman. She was tall, long-haired, and pretty in a floral dress. She pointed at the door handle with a smile. "It's not locked," I said, yet she still pointed. "You just push it." I got out of my store counter, but I realized, what is a young woman doing out here at 3 a.m.? I was in front of her, 6 steps away. Her smile was far too wide, ear to ear. Her dainty finger began pointing more and more. I shook my head. My heart began thumping. My breath became short and cold. The lights began to flicker, casting darkness around the store. Every time it does, the woman was elsewhere. She would appear on the right side of the glass wall, or on the left side. Every flicker, she kept pointing at the door. She wants to be invited in. I ran to the back. Right before I grabbed the back door, the lights at the back flickered, and she was there. I quickly turned off all of the lights. I barricaded myself in the stockroom. Only the light from my phone remained. I looked at my phone. She was there, and now her finger was pointing at me. I screamed and threw my phone across the room. I crashed onto the shelves. My coworkers woke me up. There was an entire shelf on me. I was lucky I wasn't hurt, but I had to be let go. I would have quit anyways. I never went back to the store ever again. Yay. Working at a convenience at 3 a.m. surprise face thumbnail. 24-hour store, why not come at 3 a.m.? 구치석의 온난 needed a snack. This is terrifying. So, I'm kinda lost. With every flicker, she teleported. So only the light from my phone remained. I looked at my phone, she was there. Now her finger was pointing at me. I screamed and I threw my phone and crashed into the shelf. Did you mean you saw her from your phone CCTV? Or she was in your phone? So she was in your phone, looking at you. It was so scary. To be honest, Moon Boy stories always have this eerie setup. Shook my head. This part is so scary. She wants to be invited in. Actually, in a lot of cultures, they can't come into your house unless you let them in. Like, they can't come into your house unless you open the door and let them in. Which is why they always say, don't just let anyone in. Because it's like this. Would you... What would you do if at 3 in the morning, okay, say if you were alone and your family member hit your doorbell and asked for you to let them in? Would you do it? I live with my parents. If my parents aren't home and I'm alone with my cat, and at 3 in the morning my dad rings my doorbell and asks to be let in, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I would tell him to wait at the guardhouse until sun comes up. Like, I wouldn't let him in, you know? She was behind the person. She was the wallpaper. She was the OS. Give them a call first. Show me their ID and I'll let them in. I would wait, yeah. I would tell them to go to the guardhouse. I might call my dad or my mom. Especially if I know they're overseas or if they're somewhere else. Like, or in another city, you know? Or you know key. Yeah, true. Because it's weird, right? Your family member doesn't have access to your house and they're asking you to let them in. Because this happened to one of my friends. She said in the middle of, it wasn't 3 a.m., but she said in the middle of the night, her mom, who told her that she was going to their hometown, wanted to be let in. And she said the person looked exactly like her mom, sounded just like her mom, dressed like how her mom would. And I asked her, have you seen those clothes before on your mom? And she said, you know, when you see your family every day, you don't really pay attention to what clothes they're wearing, right? So she said she wasn't sure, but just, you know, the casual Malaysian style just looked so on brand with her mom. And I asked her what she did, and she's Buddhist. So she said, Namo Amitabha, and she closed the door. And when she opened the door again, it was gone. Yeah. So she knew that it wasn't her mom. And she said what was uncanny was that for a split second, she almost wanted to let her mom in because it looked that much similar to her mom. Yeah. Paranormal solution requires modern solution. In Korea, most of the doors are number pads or a key card. So you just swipe the key card and the door opens. The downside is there's no chain lock. So the only lock you have into your house is the number pad, or whatever that handle key that you have, which is touchpad or number pad. And if you lose your key card, you're fucked, because either you contact management to deactivate the old card and give you a new one. The person who has your key card can just come into your room anytime with just one tap. Yeah. Hi Geronimo. With just one tap, people can be in your house. Or with just 4 to 6 digits of passcode, they can come into your house. There's no bolt, there's no chain, none of that to protect your house. And I wonder why. The video of that man stalking schoolgirl, he almost got to her, but she was very quick at locking the door behind her. Oh yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. But it's hard unless it's an old building. Usually they don't use locks anymore. Yeah. Thank you, Moon Boy, for sending this in. That's why I have a bat beside my door always. We have a weapon in every door, in every room, even the toilet, in our place, just to be safe. Yeah. We also have, we have a baseball bat in the car. and it is illegal to have weapons in the car. But you know, it is a sport equipment, so it's actually technically not a weapon. So yeah, if you were a lady driver, I suggest you have something like that in your car. I don't know, a golf, what do you call that? Golf stick or something like that. A baseball bat, something to protect yourself just in case. Law loopholes. Well, technically, it is a baseball bat for baseball. So who's to say we don't play baseball, right? I think the weapon you create enough, yeah, taser. Recently they sell the it's called a rape alarm, but you can use it for any time. Like if you pull it, it has a really loud siren, and it's supposed to ward off weird people, perverts, robbers, anyone that's following you in the car park. Because it happens a lot. You can just pull. It's like a keychain. You pull something. It's like you pull it, and then the alarm will go off. Yeah. But I keep some machete-shaped wooden bat at the back of the car in case shit hits the fan. We live in the day and age where we need some sort of protection, and we, well, in a good way, don't have guns in this country, which I prefer. But still, you know, I'm not saying swing it at any time, but just have it as protection, you know. Our next story, we have Guanjie W. Title of story, The House on the Hill. Ooh. Okay. You know, I like this length of stories. It's not too long, not too short. There was a house on the hill, abandoned and left to decay. It stood there for as long as anyone could remember, shrouded in a thick fog that never seemed to lift. People avoided it, believing it to be cursed, haunted by the spirits of those who once lived there. One night, a group of teenagers decided to explore the house. They climbed up the hill. Their flashlights illuminated the path ahead. As they approached the house, they heard strange noises as if someone were walking inside. And when they shone their lights through the window, the rooms were empty. They made their way to the front door, which creaked open in a loud groan. They stepped inside, their hearts pounding in their chests. The air was musty and stale, and the floorboards creaked beneath their feet. As they made their way through the rooms, they saw strange symbols etched into the walls, and the faint scent of rotting flesh filled their nostrils. Suddenly, they heard a blood-curdling scream coming from upstairs. They raced up the stairs, their flashlights casting eerie shadows on the walls. They burst into a room, and there they saw a figure huddled in a corner, its eyes glowing red in the darkness. The figure lunged at them, and they scrambled to get away. They ran down the stairs and out the window, and out the door, never looking back. But as they descended the hill, they heard a voice whispering in their ears, a voice that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at the same time. They never spoke of what happened in that house on the hill, but they all knew that they had encountered something evil, something that should have never been disturbed, and they knew that the house on the hill would always be haunted by the spirits of the past, waiting for the next curious visitor to awaken them from their slumber. Hey, I feel like I heard something similar like this before. Also, hamster, hello. Her tip is a felt tip, sumpit, by a slingshot, also illegal here. Silent hit, blowpipe and darts. It is illegal to bring box cutter, metal ruler, and sharpener in our school. In my school, we weren't allowed to bring even X-Acto knives. X-Acto knives were not allowed. Yeah, because there was a lot of, there's a lot of people who would cut themselves, and I'm not saying they're not depressed, but they would do it in school, in front of their friends, because kids be edgy. They want to show off that they're angst. They want to cut in front of their friends, and because they're cutting, their friends end up cutting, and it's just a whole fuck show, like a shit show. And so the teacher said, no knives. Scissors had to be small. There was like a limit to the length of the scissors. They can't be big. They have to be those tiny little scissors. Yeah, schools, man. Yeah. Try to make it so bit fitted with a paintball gun. I mean, even butterfly knives are illegal here. So yeah. And it was inconvenient because in school you needed to use the X-Acto knife sometimes, right? You need to cut papers or you need to make crafts. But I think it was in the best interest for them to not allow that in school because people would hurt themselves intentionally. Luckily, I'm not living in the US, so no guns at my school. Yeah. Thank you, Guanji at W. It's very well written. I like it. I like this length of stories. Thank you. Next, we have Sorachi Sky. Listening to a ghost can probably save your life. Source: Sky is the source for real. Okay. The clock struck midnight. Sky was being very cultured by watching anime until I could not suppress the urge to sleep anymore. Before I went to sleep, the clock says 12 p.m. I lay down on the bed and closed my eyes just to open it back to come to face with the shadow faces. Oh wait, hold on. Just to open it back to come face to face with the shadowed faces of my little siblings. They pointed towards my bedroom door and urged me to go outside. Utterly confused by their sudden appearance, but too nice to ignore their urging, I went outside to witness a white silhouette with long black hair standing in front of the kitchen door, staring at me unmoving. I realized by then that I was dreaming, so I wanted to go outside the house to fly. But as I touched the door's handle, chills began to run down my spine. As a voice warned me, "Don't go outside." I turned and saw the white silhouette facing while pointing towards me. Officially creeped out, I hurried back to my room. My siblings were no longer there, and noticed the sleeping form of my body. Remembering an anime scene at such a crucial time, I did the most logical thing. I stepped on my sleeping body's feet and began to slowly lay back down. Like a sudden shock that travels through my body, I woke up instantly. Remembering the dream, I quickly looked at the clock. 12:15 p.m. it showed. Curious as to what had happened, I went to go out to the kitchen wondering if the white silhouette was still there. But remembering all the American horror movies, it dissuaded me from taking such actions. Then I mimir. The end. Okay. Yeah, Sky-chan. Well, there's only one Sorachi Sky, right? Okay, so basically Sky did an astral projection. Is that right? I think it's called astral projection, where you fly out of your own body. And apparently this is something that can be honed from the people who have quote-unquote done it. It is possible with practice. This is what I've heard people say. Just like lucid dreaming, but except this one, you can see your physical body. in your dream. Most of the time, if you're lucid dreaming, when you get up and you look at your bed, you're no longer there because you were you. But astral projection is like you fly out of your own physical body, right? Your siblings were no longer there. So you lay down on bed, close your eyes, open back up, come face to face with the shadow faces of your little siblings. Pointed towards your bedroom door and urged you to go outside. Utterly confused, you went. And you saw a white silhouette with long black hair staring in front of the kitchen door, unmoving. You mean inside the house or outside the house? Don't go outside. I turned and saw the white silhouette facing while pointing towards me. Creeped out, hurried back to my room. My siblings were gone, and I noticed a sleeping form of my body. And then, remembering anime, such a crucial time, did the most logical thing, stepped on my sleeping body's feet and began to slowly lay back down. Huh. Interesting. A friend told me he saw his siblings get out of their body. Mimir sleep. Amimir. Amimir means to sleep. Happy that for once anime saves lives. Hi Zina-kun, welcome. A friend told me he once saw a scary story. When I was a teen, my family went to a haunted house for Halloween. We waited in line and there was this Asian guy next to us. I asked him if he had any scary stories as we waited, and he did. When he was a child, he and his friends decided to peek through some windows. When they peeked through the windows of the house, they saw a woman standing there. She had long hair with a white gown, holding a knife in her hand. They got scared and ran away. Huh. Yeah, please put that in a form. If you have any horror stories, just drop it in a form. Long, short, whatever. Auntie Helen. Yeah, I feel like, I guess in that case, and in any case, if it's not your house, don't look into the window. If it's not your house, don't peek through the window. Even if it's a human in there, if they have a gun, they might shoot you. Or they might hurt you. If somebody peeked through my window, and it's not somebody I know, I will whack them. Absolutely terrifying. Yeah. In this case, astral projection. Astral projection is something that I've never done before. I have lucid dreams. I am a lucid dreamer. My dreams feel really real. And when I wake up, I feel like I almost didn't sleep at all. I've also had those inception layered dreams where I woke up thinking that it was reality when in truth it was a dream, because I wake up in my own room as if I were to wake up normally, and then things would be off, and then I'd realize that I'm still in a dream. But yeah, never astral projected. So yeah, dreams can be trippy, but I don't know about this. This one I've never. Maybe he's trying to tell you something. Thank you for the story, though. What would you say freaks you out freaks you out the most in horror stories? Unexpected things, like unpredictable behavior. So Inception was real all along. It's not just no. The whole point of the Inception movie was that you could control dreams, right? Layered dreams feel more like, at least in my experience, I've had it like quite a few times. I didn't know that I was still dreaming, because my dreams are vivid, they're lucid, right? Usually when I dream, I think I'm actually doing something in reality, but I'm not. And I'm fully conscious. I know everything that I'm doing. But then I would notice a few things that are off. For example, why is my sister here? Because my sister's overseas. But in my dream, she would be in my house. That's when I realized, oh shit, this is a dream. like I'm still dreaming, because I remember going to sleep. And or time skips, you know. That's when I'm like, oh fuck, I'm still dreaming. Have you ever experienced going into a new house at a friend's or neighbor's that you feel some sort of energy? Yes, you'll say yes. Oh my fucking god, yes. I just got chills because I was just reminded of this one particular house. It was my parents' friend's house. So apparently there's this uncle, he's like my dad's friend, okay? They've known them even before I was born, okay? So they had a Christmas open house. They had a Christmas party. They ordered caterers. They had buffets in the front lawn. It's like a bungalow. So the front of the house, when you enter the gate, instead of parking their cars, they have, you know, the buffet catering area where you can go and get food to eat, right? And I went with my parents, me, my siblings are overseas at the time. So I went in, and when I went in, it was like all food, you know, Christmas, Merry Christmas. I didn't know anybody, and I haven't met this couple at all, but apparently they've seen me when I was a kid, right? So when we went in, it was fine. The front lawn, whatever. It was just like the parking area, right? If you know what Malaysian bungalows look like. And so I was like, oh, food, you know, I love food. So the first thing I did was like walk around to see what food they had. And then near the edge of the catering, it was like a hall, it's like a walkway. Still outside, but to like a laundry area or something. So I was curious, and you know, when people invite you to their house, you kind of just like, I didn't want to go into the room. By the way, I'm not a rude person. I was like, you know, let me go check out the outside, you know, it looks nice. So I was alone. My parents were talking to them. I walked down the hallway, and this whole time my skin was crawling. I felt like something was watching me. Like it just, I had that feeling. Like the air just changed. And it was so weird because it is still outside. The same, you know, like, I guess, air, if you think about it, as the catering place. And I was like, oh shit, what the fuck is this feeling? But I tried to shrug it off. So I, you know, was just fucking looking at washing machines because it was like a laundry area, right? And I noticed, oh, they have a dog. But I didn't see the dog anywhere. And it looked like it was like a gated cage, but shorter, right? It's not like for the big dogs or anything. You can tell like it has to be a small dog because it can't jump over. So I saw the cage and I was like, oh, weird, where's the dog? And so I walked back to the catering area, and then I went to look for my parents, and they were talking to the couple, and I was like, hey, do you guys have dogs? Because I saw, like, you know, there was like a dog toys, there was like a cage in the back. And the wife was like, oh yeah, we locked the dog in our bedroom because it would not stop barking. And at first I thought, oh, you know, it's normal for dogs to bark when you have guests over, especially so many people, right? You don't know, your dog doesn't know people and it's gonna bark because it's protective, right? It didn't hit me then, but when I walked into their house, I just had this feeling that something was not right. And I looked around. Let me tell you about this house. The amount of like Chinese Chinese god statues was unnerving. It was like every single corner, and even the wall, like the posters and stuff, were all just the Chinese gods. It just like in Chinese culture we have like Xiaofu, which is the laughing god. We have Tai Shen Ye, which is like the god of wealth. It was like all kinds of gods all over the fucking living room. And when I walked in, I just had this disgusting feeling. Like, it was just like, what the fuck? And my mom told me before that spirits can live in these things, and it may not be the god that you think is living in there. And when I walked in, I just had this disgusting feeling. I was so sick to my stomach that for the whole night I did not go into their house ever. I stayed outside. I stayed with people. I even sat at the table alone with my phone when my parents, I don't know where they went with their friends, but I just stayed at the catering side area alone at the table, just making sure I don't even go in. Like, I didn't even go pee or anything. It was just like, sometimes you go into a house and you just have that feeling. It just makes your skin crawl. Like, something is just not right. Yeah. And ever since then, I never saw them again. Like, I didn't even ask my parents about it. But my mom was actually amazed because she fucking loves feng shui. She was amazed by how many statues were in that house. But she said even she wouldn't go that far. Like, it was scary. It was like terrifying. And yeah, like, if they invited me back, I don't think I'll ever go to their house ever again. Like, I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't think I ever would. Can I just mention your class are adorable? Thank you. This true sounds cool. I hated it mostly because the realism affects me to a point where I cried for real. Because, for real, the thought of that one day I can't get out from that cage nightmare. I know I can wake up. I know I can wake up if I know it's a dream. But how it affects me day to day is that, because if you tell me something in my dream, my lucid dream, right? I might think you actually did it in real life. Like, I can't tell the difference sometimes. Like, for example, I would talk to my friends and I'm like, didn't you say that this was blah 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 the other day? And they're like, what? No. And I'm like, no, I swear to God you did. And they're like, no. And I'm like, what the fuck, did I dream of it? And I'm pretty sure I did, because I have the memory of them saying certain things or doing certain things, but it's not reality. That means it has to be a dream, you know? Yeah. Heard Darren from the Sunny tell a story like that. She kept waking up only for it to turn into a dream. No matter how many times she woke up, still a dream. She only woke up for real when she remembered something that her grandma told her and wiggled her toes. She woke up for real. She wiggled. Oh, maybe I should try wiggling my toe. For me, I kept pumping adrenaline to my body to wake myself. I keep trying to pull my neck up. And then the first thing I did was look at my phone to check the time. Just heard the gate of the backyard rattle. I hope it's a stray cat. Oh god. Just something later dream can be scary. I used to experience 3 later dreams. My solution is always I check for shadows if there are no shadows into the dream. Oh, that's smart. I forced myself to wake up. Yeah, sometimes I rewind my dreams because the route that I dreamed wasn't good. So bark because something else present. That's true. Congrats, I guess other day you got spectral perception open. Don't worry, it's not permanent. I don't know what it is. The laughing Buddha was, I don't know what it is, just the feeling I have. My mom told me that my brother and I are sensitive to these things. And whenever I go to a funeral, I would have a fever. Without a fucking doubt. It's not placebo. Like, even, that's why when a family member passes, unless I'm close with them, I don't go to their funeral. Because every fucking time I go, I come back, I have a fucking high fever. Without a doubt. Even if I'm healthy the whole damn week, I will have a fever. And in Chinese culture, there's something called shuadao. It means like you brushed your presence with the dead, and if you have a weaker energy, you will be sick, or you tend to be weak. Especially if I'm on my period, I can't go near cemeteries because I will get sick. Like, I would get severely sick. So I don't attend funerals. It's a thing. I know it sounds stupid. If you're not in this culture, it sounds so dumb to you. But trust me, it's a thing. And at first, listen, I used to be Christian. Okay, I would go to fucking churches every week. My mom is Taoist. She's Buddhist. Okay. Every time I go to these funerals, and all of them are Buddhist funerals, without a doubt, I will get sick. Like, I can't. It's become to the point where I can't deny that it's a fact. I myself, who don't really 100% believe in that shit, was like, oh shit, maybe I should be careful. And that's just my reality now. I can't attend funerals. I don't know, maybe I can attend Western funerals, maybe it's different, but I can't attend any Buddhist funerals. I've never been to a Christian funeral ever in my life. But yeah, I can't. I can't. Sorry that I got to destroy 69 likes. Oh no, it's fine, mods. Please, the more likes you do, the better the algorithm. I only knew a couple who had the largest Santa collection and put them out every Christmas. At least they only put it out during Christmas, right? I've seen so intense nightmares that they haunted me whole day and I still remember most of it. Oh dear. There's something we call kasagan, and it happens when you visit graveyards and such, so that's why people are advised to avoid graves. What is a kasagan? What happens? What happens during the kasagan? For me, I get fever. I get high fever. I feel sluggish for like a week. Especially if when I come home, I don't immediately take a shower, then I will be sick longer. I get fever. Yeah. Sounds like somebody cursing. No, it's just I have weak energy. Like, it's a yin yang thing. It's a chi thing. You know what a chi is? My chi is lower compared to my sister. Me and my brother's chi, when you're born, according to your bazi, which is like what time you're born and what day, your name, all of that, you will have either a higher energy or a lower energy. My sister is a yang, so she never experiences none of this shit. My brother and I, we were born in the time of yin, which means we are more sensitive to these things. And my brother never goes to funeral anyway, so I don't know if I can test this theory, but I'm open to going. But every time I go, I have a fucking fever. Yeah. Fortunately, I don't think we'll get a Christian funeral in Malaysia unless you're devoted with Christian families. Yeah, I know, right? Honestly, even on my dad's side, even though they're quote-unquote Christian, they still kind of hold a Taoist ceremony. Like, or there's not really a ceremony. They just they burn the body and then you bring the ashes home. That's it. Like, or you put the ashes somewhere, like at those funeral houses. So I've never, because my dad is Christian, my mom's Taoist, but my dad's family, yeah, they don't do that. They still are Taoist, which is weird. Spectral perception is when you get hypersensitive at certain conditions and it does affect the body, like how the motion sickness. Easier to avoid the places and don't take notice of it. Yeah, it's true. Welcome, Raiders. Thank you, Carrot, for the raid. How are you? What were you doing? Frog raid, everyone. Hello, you can call me Aruri. I'm a wind-up doll VTuber. Today we're doing a horror storytelling ASMR stream. Yeah. Feel free to submit your stories. The link is pinned in the chat. And English only, please. Frog raid. Hey. How are you guys? We were just talking about my experience of being sensitive to these things, which means I can't attend funerals because I come home with a fever. Ayo, welcome, Raiders. How do you know your chi? You have to calculate it. You can go to the shaman. We call it 算命师 in Chinese. You can go there and they will calculate your chi for you, or the time if you need to know your date and time of birth. Yeah. And if you're on a weaker side, I don't suggest you to go to graveyards or like funeral houses. Horror story, yeah. Carrot, what were you doing? Congrats on your 10K. Hard to expand how to sense cheat. You can only experience by another person who knows this kind of stuff. That too. Usually they have a plate, like but it's Chinese. It's very Chinese. So I think if you're not Chinese and you go to a shaman, they look at you weird. Like, why do you want to know this? LA Noir. Oh my god, I wanted to play that. It's an old game, right? Oh, it looks so interesting. Chi is like an inner energy. Yeah, it's not chakra. I don't know. Is it chakra? I don't know. But chi is different. Chi is like the energy, your body's energy. Some people have it stronger, some people have it weaker. Kind of old, yeah, but it's fun. Oh my gosh, I would love to play it. I hope you had a great stream though. Ayo. If you guys have any horror stories, feel free to submit it. Once again, links in the description box and pinned in the chat. Thank you, Sky, for sharing the story. But yeah, I would like to mention though, we are not here to convince anyone to believe in any spiritual, paranormal things. This is just for shits and giggles. If you want to believe it, so be it. If you don't want to believe it, so be it. There's no need to berate anybody. Also, life third eye usually gets stronger after going to funeral or visiting graveyards. Usually kids have it, but when you grow up, it's gone. The most relatable sense of explaining chi is the word vibe. That's so true. Been to the restroom. Never been to a restroom ever since the stream started. Go, 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 go. Okay. We have one from Kefianto. Try it. Try not to be cringe again. Try not to be cringe again. Kefianto. Title of story, movie tracked. In a way, I was thinking I'm a goof creep everyone, but I ever did that to another VTuber who already graduated, pilot stuff. By the time I was still initial HF, and she really hated me going to goof hard as fuck because maybe she was still, I don't know, getting the mind map focused on this one term, which I think was like horror is creepy, not goofy. So I won't do the same mistake to try and get everyone awkwardly uncomfortable. This one is for real, and it was creepy. So I was watching this movie back in my boarding school. It was about an accident that caused an actor noosed in the filming of this movie inside the movie. The dad got her soul wandering everywhere like human trafficking to kill all the crews that filmed the movie, and that movie I watched. So everyone who watched this movie inside the movie is also being hunted down to death. After watching that movie, I was turning on my edgy mode and making jokes out of it, until I forgot I left my precious little tote bag where all the papers inside it are filled with gold bars I made at the mosque, which led me to coward manly be puss brave enough to go there all by myself. No one was left there, and all the lights are still on. I was getting my bag. I was thinking of turning off all the lights. There were like 16 switches in a row. But when I was even gonna switch one off, Zeus struck thunder and made a lot of lights turn off, which made me jump. Preach slurring, like, oh shit, what? Astaghfirullah. Oh my goodness. You know, in any sense, you shouldn't even be saying this word. Sprint praying, ayat kursi, etc. And when I got back into my room, the lights were all out. Everyone's enjoying their cousins of death and real. Damn silence, like even I can hear the water taps at the bathroom at the back of the room. The most fun of fun in this story is that I couldn't sleep until 2:30 a.m. And when I did finally got sleepy, the teachers already walked in and woke everyone else to pray at 3 a.m. Wait, what? This is so confusing. My brain can't process words. Hold on. Let's try to like break this down. Hold on. Okay. By the way, don't ever use this. you are not. If you say astaghfirullah, that means you don't belong in that culture where you have the past to use this word, okay? Like, no. But anyways, okay, so you were watching a horror movie, and everyone who watches this movie inside the movie are also being haunted, okay? After watching the movie, I was turning on my edgy mode, making jokes out of it. And you left your little tote bag where all the papers are inside filled with gold bars that you made at a mosque, which forced you to go there to get it yourself. Okay? No one was there and the lights were... So you were watching the movie alone? You were watching the movie alone? You were getting your bag and you thought of turning off the lights. But the lightning striked. And so it made the lights go out. And when you got back to your room, the lights were all out. What is this? Everyone's enjoying their cousins of death in real. What does this mean? Everyone's enjoying their cousins of death in real life. In real damn silence. Okay, so let's ignore all of this. Let's just say the silence was so strong that even you can hear the water taps in the bathroom in the back of the room. Okay. Right? Okay. As a lesson. This one this one don't need. It makes it very confusing. This one don't need. Okay. This one don't need. Actually, okay, this one don't need. This one definitely don't need. Oh, they're very asleep. Oh, okay. Cousins of death. Okay, everyone's sleeping in damn silence. Ah, cousins of death. Ah, okay, I get it. So you didn't sleep at all? Why were you watching a movie alone? You were watching a movie alone. You were watching a horror movie alone. Wait, okay, the movie inside the movie is being haunted down to death. That sounds like The Ring, right? That sounds like The Ring. Treasure piece of some kind. Make a submission like I'm sorry. We're not here to judge anyone's English, okay? Cousin celebrating someone's okay. Yeah, what's gold bars? What's gold bars that you make at the mosque? Were any goats harmed in the making of these bars? Were any goats? Yeah? What are goat milk? Goat milk bars? Gold bars? It's vape. Huh? Goat milk soap bar? If you recite Quran, fight the things when your heart is still scared of them, the thing's just gonna laugh at you, even when Ustas tried to exercise the thing, they would still laugh. Oh, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. I was told from my church when I used to go to youth church, my pastor, and there was this girl, because I was telling her at the time I was experiencing a lot of sleep paralysis, and I was trying to ask, okay, her name's Renee, so I talked to Renee and I asked her if she could help, because I was new to the church, maybe just for a couple months I've been there, and I wasn't close with the pastor, which a lot of them grew up with, because it's a youth church, which means you grow up in the church, right? So I was so close to Renee, and I asked her if she could ask the pastor to come to my house, because I keep getting sleep paralysis, and I was wondering if there's something dirty in my house, right? And she told me something that would stick to me to this day is that she too experienced it, And all she needed to do, by the way, she's now a pastor, which means she had a lot of studies. She had a lot of Bible studies back then, and I was new. I was like middle school when I went to church by myself, right? I didn't grow up in church. I was never really religious up until that point. So she told me that she just had to say the word Jesus, and then she could wake up. And she told me, you have no idea how strong just the word Jesus is. And it made me think, like, wait, so when I'm being haunted, all I had to say was Jesus, then it would go away. Like, it always made me wonder. Thankfully, I never had the chance or the opportunity to test it out if it worked or not. But when she told me that, I was like, huh? And she was like, yeah, all I had to say was the word Jesus. And she said, it sounds very, like, I understand if you're skeptical, but she said, like, I just had to say the word, and then it went away. And I was like, huh, interesting, because I just couldn't fucking move. Yeah, them humans are just humans. One guy tried to exorcise a ghost from an apartment after reciting Quran by smacking door bled and made the ustad run away. What the fuck? It's interesting I didn't get sleep paralysis from that point. I did, but not often. I don't get it often. Yeah, I don't get it often. It's like once in a blue moon. But at the time, I was experiencing it like 2 times or something, and it was terrifying, right? I was still a fucking kid. I was in middle school, and I was like, can a pastor come to my house, maybe have a look at my room? I don't know. And she just told me that, and she never got me help or anything. She was just like, just say the name Jesus. And I was like, okay. Like, okay, but are you gonna tell the pastor? She didn't tell the pastor to come. She didn't. She was just like, she just sent me home with the word Jesus, okay? And since then, I didn't have it anymore until, like, I think a year or 2 later. But at the point, I didn't remember to use the word Jesus, and at that point, I had stopped going to church. I only went to church for a bit. At the point, I stopped going, and all I did was try to force myself to get up, and that's how I got up. But yeah, when she told me that, I was like, huh? It's the faith. I don't know. Doesn't matter what's being said, just the intent. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, say it with conviction. I couldn't even move. Like when I had sleep paralysis. Listen, I've mentioned this many times. When I sleep, I'm like a mummy. Okay, I'm like a zombie. I sleep with my hands in front of my chest or on my sides. I'm sleeping like freaking like someone would in a coffin. You know, I don't move in my sleep. My back is on the bed. I'm like sleeping flat, right? I couldn't move. Fuck, sometimes I couldn't even move my eyes. It's just I could only open them or close them. And even opening, by opening, I mean not fully opening. It's just like trying to force my eyelids to open, you know? That's my sleep paralysis. I know some people, when they have sleep paralysis, they open their eyes and they could look around. For me, I hardly can do that. Most of the time, I open my eyes and I'm fucking forcing myself to peel my eyelids open, you know? That's me, my sleep paralysis experience. Don't just parrot it, according to one commenter in Facebook. Huh. Good news, at least you didn't experience what a sleep paralysis haunting starts talking. Is that when you're in omega deep trouble? Can you skip the next 2 submissions from me? I regret everything. Very second note that I haven't changed over a damn year. Huh. Wait, oh sorry, I didn't delete. Sorry. I can skim through. The N word. Oh, okay. You know what? We're skipping this. But yeah, maybe cut down on the N word, you know? Never get sleep paralysis. That's a good thing. Please don't get sleep I mean, just sleep. I wish that I didn't have dreams when I sleep, so when I wake up, I'm not tired as hell. Because the thing about being a lucid dreamer is that when you sleep, you are fucking awake. You don't feel like you're rested. When I wake up, I feel like I didn't sleep at all, even though I was definitely sleeping. But when I wake up, I feel like my mind was so active the entire time that I didn't even sleep. Yeah. I can't sleep for else if I didn't drink enough water before going to sleep. I know that feeling. Your brain and eyes are awake, but lung and body is asleep. Yeah. Water, huh? Yeah. Also, hi, welcome, guys. Alright, next we have Metal Chip. The horrors of the mind. Okay. It was a dark and mildly windy summer's night. Molly had just finished a take-home quiz as Miranda finished her work. It was 6 p.m. and things seemed normal as already described. But then, strange sounds started to come across the room. The two were both unfazed at first, but the sounds became louder. Molly thought there was a monster, and Miranda worried a thief would break in. So the two went out of the house to find the sound. But as it turned out, all the noise was caused by the weather of this mildly windy summer night. Nothing scary happened after all, and it seemed that the only scary thing at times is one's imagination. That is so true. That is so true. That is very true. Sometimes the true terror lives within our own minds. You know, you guys ever hung a coat in your room, like a black coat, and every time you fucking turn, you think there's a shadow there? That is, I don't know how to explain it because it's not like you want to think it, but your brain automatically switches and think it's a human being. Like, you know what I mean? It's just how the brain works. And because we're humans, we always assume the worst. And that is not always a bad thing. Personally, I prefer to assume the worst than be ignorant. Because, if you're home alone and you hear some noises, there are people who would just shrug it off and be like, it's just whatever, or just fucking ignore it. I think that's more dangerous than people who would go check it out. People who would, I don't know, turn on the lights just to be extra cautious. Because what if, just what if, there is something there? You know what I mean? So I think it's always safer to be careful than sorry. I personally, though I hate it, prefer my mind to think that there's a person there than brush through it. You know what I mean? Cloud, don't run. Sometimes I just feel like the coat is getting closer. What the fuck? I hate my brain sometimes. We all do. We all do, darling. Trust me. Then again, you can't be prepared for the worst. It can always get worse. Here's the thing. This is a quote that my colleague told me that her mom drills into her brain. If something bad can happen, it will. And if something worse can happen, it will. That means every time you think of scenario and you think that something bad can happen, just know that something worse can happen. And whatever that worst thing is, something worse, even worse, can happen to that. Yeah, so you have to always be cautious, be alert. And we are lucky, you know, that we can decide whether to be alert or not. Ignorance is bliss. The Murphy's Law. Sometimes it's best to be alert. Yeah. Yes, that's true. This is different. When you hear something in your balcony, or in your front yard, it is different when you go turn on the lights to check if something is actually there than if you leave the lights off and go try to check it out. Because one is being careful, the other one is just being stupid. And because we're humans, we can decide what decisions to make. Sometimes some people's decisions leads them to the worst, you know, because they decide not to turn on the lights. They decide to keep their guard down and think it's nothing, when you should be careful and keep your guard up just in case something is there. Whatever can happen most likely happens, that's true. So we can't be ready for everything, but we can be prepared. Do you know what I mean? It's hard to be ready for something, but we can be prepared. Preparing things is still within our control, you know? So yeah. Heck no, I'm not gonna check it out. Heck no, I'm gonna check it out. You say even if it wasn't a ghost, it could be a thief or a murderer, yes. You bet I'm gonna carry machete, checking the noises, yeah. You need vision, so you need to turn on the lights. I think lights are like the safest bet. My life is a Roleplay simulation. That's why I get agitated hearing a dog's bark at 3 a.m. But they always do. Dogs always bark in the middle of the night. Sometimes we hear noises in the night. My mom and I just go alert and observe for a while being silent, because we have incidences of thieves breaking in. That's so scary. Leaving the lights off, they'll never expect it, but it makes it easier for them. If you leave the lights on, at least you warn them that you know. So you kind of, in a way, scare them away, you know? So yeah, always be careful, guys. Choose the smarter decision. We may seem like we're paranoid sometimes, but we can never be ready for, burglars. We can never feel fully ready to see something that we don't want to see, but we can be prepared, like keeping a weapon in our room, or, like mapping out what to do in case things happen, like in case somebody breaks into your house, things like that. Yeah. People's senses are so interesting. When I was in VR chat with my friends, one of my friends gave me a hug. I swear I was sensing them presence, even smelling them. Ayo. I would use explosive, bro. Ain't that illegal here? Yeah. I think always be prepared, stay safe, everyone. The world is a scary place, and sometimes you don't need the paranormal to show you that it is scary. Alright, next we have Attalus. Thank you, Attalus. Title of story: Sleeping Under the Bed. 251 words, not including this thank you. A man came to a shaman to seek help of a haunting. The man explains that the haunting began after the death of his wife. The day she died, she found out that he had been with another woman. Oh. The wife ran away and jumped off the bridge at a nearby river, taking her own life. Ever since that day, every night the man hears someone entering his room. He did not hear footsteps, but rather someone hopping inside this room. The noise would make its way towards the edge of the bed and continue throughout the night. The haunting stops every morning and begins again at night. The shaman confronted the man that his dead wife was searching for him and to take him to the afterlife with her. The shaman advised that the man to sleep under his bed to fool his dead wife so that she will not find him and wander elsewhere. That night, the man returned home and did what the shaman said. He slept under his bed. The haunting began, and he heard the noise of someone hopping inside the room and making towards his bed. Suddenly, there was finally silence. The man peeked over. He saw his dead wife staring back at him, her face covered in blood, and the tip of her head smashed in. The day she died, she jumped and landed head first. She came back the way she died, upside down, hopping on her head, searching for her husband, and she found him. Oh, this one's so terrifying. I just got chills. This one is so good. Holy shit. Oh my goodness. I can't. I'm scared. Oh, this is fucking terrifying. Listen. If the entire time she kept coming in, he did not hear footsteps, rather someone hopping in the room. Listen, if this entire time she came into your room and couldn't find you, why the fuck would you change your sleeping position? Why the fuck would you change your sleeping position? Time to sleep on the sofa to now just sleep on the bed. All you see is a fucking feet. You know what I mean? She pogo stick in the room. You know what I mean? Like, what? Suddenly, there was silence. The man peeked over his dead wife, staring back at him, her face covered in blood and the tip of her head smashed in. Damn, this is so fucking good. That is funny. Is it funny though? What if it was staring at you? Would it be funny? You know what? Listen. What we can take away from this story, the lesson we learn is don't be with another woman. Don't cheat. Do not cheat. If you ain't cheating, she would not have taken her own life. TLDR. And the lesson we take away from this, okay? Even the shaman himself didn't expect that. Wouldn't a shaman be able to see it though? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And I wouldn't feel safe unless the shaman came to my house. This is real good. Oops. This is really good. Thank you, Atlas, for sending this in. Very, very creepy. I got chills all the way down. Reagan. What's a Reagan? Shaman paid actor. Shaman was a paid actor. Ghost wasn't even there when the shaman visited. Maybe he should have waited. I would have wanted him to wait. The usual Chinese saying, don't do anything bad and you wouldn't be scared of ghosts coming for you. That's true. There's a Chinese saying called 做贼心虚, which means like if you do something wrong, you're gonna feel like you're doing something wrong. You're gonna act like you're doing something wrong, right? And everything you do, you're gonna surround yourself with like someone of a guilty person. But if you never do anything wrong, then you won't have any guilty conscience. Shame man. Mob Psycho 100. Bro. Yeah. Next we have Yosei. The lady outside. It was night. I was watching TV with my two uncles. On the right side of the TV is the door, so we can see the outside. There are banana trees outside, enclosed with a simple fence, where the family keeps its pet ducks. Okay, Grandma just fed the ducks. She was wearing white shorts. Can't remember much of the details of her outfit though. Suddenly, while we were watching TV, we saw a white figure outside floating. Kinda has a human silhouette, except we couldn't really see its feet, and it's a little floating above the ground. A few inches above the ground maybe. It doesn't move by the way, and we couldn't really see any facial features or anything. It's just a white floating silhouette out there in the banana trees. We were shocked by what we saw. Take note that I was with two other people and we all saw it. Our first theory was that it was Grandma, probably have something to do with the ducks again. But Grandma didn't have full white outfit that night. I'm pretty sure she can't float. Anyway, after that we discussed what we saw over dinner to the other family members. They didn't believe, of course, but I'm pretty sure I saw something over there. And it was just not me who saw it. 不做亏心事，万一不破鬼墙嘛。That is so true. That is so true. Good old banana trees in the outside. It's always the banana trees. And even in Chinese culture, I'm sure this is not just in Malay culture, but even in Chinese culture, banana trees, they are like haunted. Like ghosts like to possess banana trees and also bamboos. Yeah. So these two things, they always tell kids to stay away from. Try to not get too close, especially not touch them, because a lot of kids get possessed when they touch these things. Thank you for the subscribe, Rafael Foglio, and also Ahmad Shahir Nami bin Ahmad Azizi. Thank you so much. So yeah, can I hook up Tada Barney? Really down bad. You know, this is really funny. Grandma didn't have full white outfit, and I'm pretty sure she can't. You're pretty sure? How sure are you that your grandma can't float? You know, I'm pretty sure my grandma can float. Not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm just pretty sure that my grandma can float. You know, just 90% sure, not 100%, just, 90% sure. Yeah, David Blaine, I haven't heard that name forever. We have banana trees all over the place. Oh my god, USA. Banana trees, yeah, are known, I think, even in Indian culture, to like have things possessing it. Granted, no, she built different. You'll say, after that, did it happen again, or just never? Like, was it just that one time? Bro, just floating. That's kind of random. If it's never happened and it just happened at one time, is an established fact that all grandmas can't float. Damn, guess I'm not a grandma because I can't float. I have a few banana trees outside my house right beside my room, and next to that gate I said earlier. Love my house. Oh fuck, time to chop them off. Listen, a few bananas are not worth the paranormal activities, okay? Dang, you'll say. That is terrifying. Luckily, never again. But we had this incident of a black cat just popping out of nowhere inside the house. You bet. That's the banana trees from the evil spirits. I know you can tie something to it and it will stop the haunting. Oh my goodness. The fireworks. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but the fireworks are loud. Can you hear it? Yeah, it's so loud. Hi, Blockman Clutch. Alright, next story we have is from Doll Keeper. Title of story: The Mystery of the Ladies' Room. Oh, female toilet. You hear it, ayo? Back from year 2022. Hey, welcome back. Never have any paranormal activity. I just really want to experience for myself. Oh no. No. It's so loud. It's so loud. This one I heard from a friend who heard from his friend who was in a certain school. Not the school we were attending. Okay, so you heard it from a mutual friend who was from another school. Apparently, in a certain school somewhere within the city, there had been rumors spreading around the ladies' room. The rumor was, if you sit on a certain toilet somewhere in that ladies' room, your head would move backwards as if it was hit by something. Like, just imagine sitting on a toilet, then for some reason your head would just knock backwards. One day or night, not sure, probably day because we don't really have much night classes in the city. Someone went to the ladies' room, call of nature I suppose, and felt exactly as the rumor would describe. After that, she consulted the school faculty asking why such phenomena occur in such a place. The school staff replied, "Trigger warning. Someone committed suicide some time ago in that ladies' room. And the phenomena of your head knocking backwards is the feet of the student who committed it and is hitting your head, i.e. the feet of a hanged astral body is hitting your head." God damn. Fucking, so it's like a reversed piñata. So are you saying you are the piñata? What? It's like hitting a piñata, right? Except you don't see it. Does the ladies' room have urinals too? No. Listen, in the ladies' room we have big ass mirrors, we have cubicles, and sometimes sofas. Why? I don't know. And there are also hella mirrors with like tables but no sinks in another section for makeup. The ladies, the piñata, you're the one stick hitting the piñata. What happens if it hits you back and you hit it back and you just kind of like try to surf for it with your head? Wouldn't that be hilarious? Reverse piñata. I was saying like maybe we're the piñata and the leg was hitting us. How can a woman use the urinals in front? I mean, they can if they want. There is a technology. It's like a paper cup. It looks like a triangle. You can put it over your private part and then try to get all the water through. It looks like a funnel. You have to through the funnel basically, so you can pee standing up. But I would say 99% of the time it will leak. It will leak and you might as well sit down. Yeah, some of them are silicone, but I mean I personally never used them. I don't think they work, knowing how women bodies are built. Yeah, punching back with health bars in it. I wonder if it'll kick you back, you know. This is a terrifying story though. Thank you, Dollkeeper. Sounds like a true story as well. The more you know, yeah. People who like feet know where to go. They're just gonna open their mouth when they sit down and go blah, blah, blah. They go feet. Sniffling ASMR. Wilding out, we are wilding out. It is degen hours. Astral feet. I'm sorry. Alright, next we have Ami, the crawling shadow. Ooh, is this a true story? Wrong emote, Otze. It happened pretty recently. Very, very recent that the reason of the recent. It happened at a very late night. It was a really hot night that night. I was watching Aruri stream on Twitch while doing my homework. I was so focused on my work. I was so focused on my work until suddenly I saw a glimpse of a shadow from the corner of my left eye at my room door. The shadow was moving creepily and it creeped me out. I turned my head and turns out it was a freaking cockroach. I straight up put off my headset and stand on my chair. After several attempts of chasing it away, it ran into my stash and gone missing. Knowing it's still in the room, even though having no sights of it, I left the room and went to the living room downstairs. The incident had me to brave myself the next morning to clean up my room with insecticide by my side in order to get rid of cockroach. Did you find it? Laughing scenario. Sorry, I'm sorry. Crawling shadow, two of my most hated words. You didn't find it? I have news for you, Ami. Usually when you find one cockroach, most likely there's like 1,000 or 100, because when they lay eggs, they lay in that amount, like in the hundreds, I think. So if you find one, most likely there's a whole bunch. Yeah. Yeah, and if it's not in your room, that means it's somewhere nearby. You clean your room, couldn't find it? Okay. What about your stash? Does it fly? Oh god, I hope not. Probably already in your ear. Oh my god. Those scare. No, it's true. It's true. Yeah, Google it. They lay eggs in, I think, hundreds or thousands. And if you find one, that means there's a lot nearby. Yeah. Yep. Lepus can fly now. Yeah, yeah. No, cockroaches can fly. Some of them can fly. Oh my gosh, a cockroach. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh. Fireworks. Goddamn, Ami. I hope you don't see it anymore. You know what I love the most about this? I straight up put off my headset and stand on my chair. You know what would have been safer? To keep your headset on, so it won't fly into your ear or something. And always check your headset before you put it on, because it might be inside your headset. You know what I mean? Everybody check your headset now. Everybody's checking their headsets. Because this is something that I worry about. Like, I check my headset every time I put it on because I'm scared that there will be insects. And if I put it on, that means it's trapped between my ear and the headset. So the only way it can go is just into my ears. Why do you have to say that? Check it now. Fly into the mouth? No. My headset is wired. Ah, I see. Aruri, please. Dua Lipas. Stand on chair grabbing the huge table to kill the roach. Yeah. It can whisper me sweet nothings, though I want it there. Oh my god. You're all wilding out. But yeah, you know, be careful. Insects like crawling into ears because it's very similar to their nesting biome. I don't know how to say it. Their nesting place. It's dark, you know, a little bit fuzzy. Like, they can have a lot of them at the place, and they feel nice and cozy. It's like a tunnel, right? Like, for example, spiders, they like tunnels. They like to burrow, and this is like an already burrowed tunnel. You're scaring me. Standing on a chair to show that you're taller than the cockroach and it gets scared of you, asserting dominance in height. Thank you, Ami, for submitting. They nest in dark, dry places like the wardrobe or your ear holes, because it's dark and dry. It's probably vibing to your weeaboo music, your anime OSTs, your yoasobi. Every time you put on your headset. Alright. Next, we have Leon. Title of story, Somebody Was There. It's no use cockroach. I have higher ground. Ami, probably. You would have more luck stepping on it, I think, and killing it. Yeah. Alright, somebody was there. My family moves around every so often, but this house was a bit more interesting. Short story, we moved out into a neighborhood, nice neighborhood, etc. But there are some empty houses for reasons I don't know. So one time I was watching TV in the living room. My sister was in a different room, but she could see me. There was a scene that made me go basically like, "Whoa, yeah, baby, let's go," just like Charlie. And that was it, nothing happened. A few days passed at a dinner with family, and she told me when I screamed happily while watching TV, somebody close to my size was behind me and mimicking my movements. Well, after some time in the house, there were multiple occasions like that, so after almost 2 years, we moved out. Kawaii. Hi, Peter Remington, welcome. Peter, hang with us. Peter, keep us company. Peter, hold our hands. This is terrifying. So, a few days passed. She told me you screamed happily while watching TV. Someone, something, somebody close to your size was behind you, mimicking your movements. I have a question. Yeah, were you watching the TV in the dark? Because maybe that was your shadow. Scared of a shadow? Maybe that was your shadow. I'm not trying to be skeptical or anything. I'm not trying to say that nothing like that happened, but I'm just saying the possibility of like a dark room with a TV on and your sister seeing somebody your size mimicking your movements. What would you guys do if it wasn't a dark room? What if it wasn't a shadow? What would you guys do when you see this? Because I wouldn't not tell my brother. I wouldn't keep quiet. I think I would tell my brother. I think I'd go, hey, can you come over for a second? And try to remove him from this space. And if that thing is following him still, I think I think I will like text my brother about it. Tell him not to freak out and not to say it out loud, but I think something's following him. It's double live fancy, bro. On the light. Because I don't know if I can let my brother be in the same room with something like that. I would want to remove him from the situation. I don't know. We're not religious in this house. We're in like we don't have chanting and prayers in this house. But I think I might blast some Christian songs. You know. Tell them after a month let the situation fizzle out. What if it never did? Because she said after some time in the house there were multiple occasions like that. So I feel like I want to let him know in case it happens again. Blast it so it will be annoyed and leave. Yeah, I think I'll blast some like religious music. You know, like I mean, I would blast Christian music, but it might not work because not everyone in this house is Christian. Like, I mean, I'm agnostic. Let's be honest. But if I were to revert to a religion, it would be Christianity. For my mom, she probably plays some different chants, you know, like a Buddhist chant or something. And my dad might just pray. I don't know about my sister. I think my sister is an atheist. I think she doesn't believe in this shit, so I don't know what she'd do. Baby by Justin Bieber. Oh my god. But yeah, I would remove my brother from this situation. Thank you, Leon, for submitting. I hope it doesn't carry on to the other house. Damn. Next story we have Hear You Plays. Title of story, The Doll. Ooh. There was a girl named Emily who loved playing with dolls. She had a vast collection of them, but her favorite was this wind-up doll with the big yellow eyes that would play a soothing melody after winding up the key on her crown. Emily would spend hours playing the doll, dressing her up in comfy sweaters and dresses, and have tea parties with her. However, one day, after Emily got a laptop from her parents, strange things started to happen. Emily would wake up in the middle of the night to find the laptop opened, and a doll would be in the place that Emily last placed. After telling her parents about it, they dismissed her fears, saying it's just her imagination and her forgotten to turn off a laptop. But Emily knew something was wrong and decided to investigate. One night, Emily placed the doll on the opposite corner of her room, closed her laptop, and pretended to fall asleep. Sure enough, the doll started to walk through the laptop and turn it on. However, Emily wasn't shocked when she heard the doll turn on OBS and spoke, "My name is Auregalia Aruri, and you can call me Aruri, and I'm a wind-up doll VTuber." God damn it. Emily, you have been doxxed, god damn it. Emily, I told you to be careful. You know what? You know when I knew that it was about me? The key on her crown. Do you guys know what wind-up doll looks like? Let me show you what wind-up dolls look like. They don't look like me. And this is why I mean it when I say I designed my model, because wind-up dolls look like this. Wind-up dolls, they look like this. I'll have you know that wind-up dolls look like this. Okay. This is what wind-up dolls look like. If you want to look at the old traditional ones, oh damn it, I deleted it. But they look like robots. This is modern wind-up doll. Yeah. So you kind of wind it up and they start moving. So this is what wind-up dolls look like. You used to have them. The green one is thirsty with the tongue out. The mention of eyes hinted it already hinted it was you. It was well written though. Yeah. Used to have those as a kiddo. Can you imagine a green thing just running towards you? This green fella. The green one. I kick it. Because I'm the alpha. I am the alpha wind-up doll. Listen. There can't be two of me. Are you kidding me? There's only one of me. Okay, with the key wind is at the crotch. Mind you, it's a kid's toy. You gotta fiddle with it. Yeah. But yeah, thank you. It's cute. I think this is a very cute story. A doll. I like doll horror stories. Personally, not a big fan of my doll cousins. Like, I mean, the last time I had a doll was a Barbie doll. Like, that's the fucking last doll I had. And I don't like dolls that like look realistic. If they look derpy, I like them. So yeah, I haven't really experienced doll life, I guess, until after Barbie dolls. Chucky, yeah, Chucky. You know, kids don't know what the heck Chucky is. There is actually a good amount of kids who have never heard of Chucky. Remember to close laptop after use. You know those big cottony dolls? I'm still scared of them to this day. Spent too much time looking at porcelain dolls while writing this. I see. I had a porcelain doll. My mom had one. I broke it. Yeah, they look terrifying. It was scary as hell. Young kids nowadays don't know about Chucky. True. I've also known those dolls where if you tilt them, the eyes open and close. Those are terrifying too. No, Chucky, there's a reason why I'm scared of those. Yeah. And it looks like a clown too. He's still around. I saw him on Netflix. Chucky is on Netflix now. Chuck E. Cheese, not Chuck E. Cheese. Doll look cartoony, then yes. If they look realistic, I'm drowning it in holy water. That's me too. But I look realistic. Are you gonna drown me? Oh, whoa. BJDs can be scary too. What are BJDs? I'm hearing a lot of noises from outside, but I'm assuming it's the fireworks. Ooh. Next we have Subaru Freeman, who is right here in our chat. Ayo. The Midnight Rider. Ayo. This sounds like it's like a translated title of a porn movie in Japan. Like Midnight Rider. I don't know why. Drown Aruri with love, Ayo Taskaru. You would treat me kindly, thank you. Nandroid is a safest doll for me. It only predates your wallet, true. What? It sounds like a song title. Or that too. Midnight Ride sounds like a song title. Midnight Rider sounds like a porn title. How do you know that? What? It was a reference from Left 4 Dead. Ah, I see. Alright, let's read it. My two friends and me were going back to our campus during the night like any usual weekend. The night air was pretty chill, so we opened the window of the car to let the cool wind in and talk about how dark the road is compared to the ones each of us pass in our village. We then came to a straight road. No other cars were behind nor in front of us. Not a strung from the cricket or a wings flap from a bat was heard. Just the sound of the car and the windows closing down as it started to feel eerie, and opted to turn on the aircon instead. The straight road felt more farther than usual, despite we were talking for some time in the car. The talk got serious when suddenly the driver halted the car in the middle of the road. My other friend looked at him while the other was looking a bit pale and shaken. I didn't know what was happening, and as I was going to ask them, my friend turned the car off, turned to me, and asked to stay silent and recite some prayers. It took 10 minutes before my friend started the car and drove off slowly. To this day, my friend never told me what happened that night. Fighting AI, fighting crime. You're in shambles. I'm sorry. I'm very uncultured. Wait. So your friend turned off the car, turned to you, asked you to stay silent and recite some prayers. That is terrifying. Have you ever thought of maybe asking your friend? The thing is in the car. Oh fuck. Is that the protocol? If it is in your car, you turn off the car and you pray in the middle of the road. In Chinese culture, you pretend not to hear or see, and you just keep driving, or you just keep going until it goes away. Heard that once too. You stop the car, let it out. The driver halted the car. My other friend looked at him while the other looked pale and shaken. So, you and your two friends, huh? Well, there is an empty seat. If it's a she, ask her to go to the front seat, have a day. Oh lord. Feeling of sudden chill, but you know it's not the AC. Holy shit, that is mortifying. Yeah. I did, and he said it was a bad situation, and it was the only way to him to keep us safe. So what exactly did he see? I want to know. I'm so curious. You know? And where was it? Like, I want to know. If you ever ask your friend, please let us know. I'd be very keen to know. This forum will always be open, so you can always submit it here. That's terrifying, guys. Never told you what happened. Dang. Believe in this world, there's certain things. There's things better leave unknown. I think that is the case unless you've experienced it, right? Dang. Oh wait, we have one from Cornelius Lowe. Title of story, Tickle. Oh wow, it starts off so strong. Cornelius, I don't think my husband is my husband. I did not know you had a husband. What? Cornelius, I didn't think you had a husband. But okay. Cornelius Lowe said, I don't think my husband is my husband. After many weeks, my husband returned from the airport. He greeted me warmly at the airport, and we were in good spirits. I noticed a few things were off. Simple things at first, such as ordering noodles on Tuesday instead of rice. Then my husband would rarely bring up the weather, even when there was a dramatic change. The most telling sign, however, was when I asked him to tickle my nose when we were being intimate, and he just tickled it literally. Something was very wrong. We argued. I pressed that something changed in him from his business trip, but he kept denying. He even accused me of being the one that was acting strangely. He left the house for the entire day. I couldn't lose him. My husband is the only one that understands me. I decided to make dinner to make amends. He wasn't aware of the sleeping pills in his food. When he came to, I had him tied up to a chair. "Who are you?" the man with my husband's face screamed. I had no choice. I must confirm if it's my husband. I excreted my 2 tentacles from my nostrils. They flowed out longer than I was tall. The only way to find out if my husband is in there is to tickle his nose. And really tickle his nose. No intimacy, only the merging of the minds. As the man screamed in terror, I plunged my tentacles into his nostrils. I hope my husband is in there somewhere. Form Cornelius Lowe. What? What? Okay. He kept denying. He even accused me of being the one that was acting strangely. I couldn't lose him. My husband's the only one who understands me. I decided to make him dinner to make amends. He wasn't aware of the sleeping pills. When he came to, I tied him up to a chair. "Who are you?" the man with my husband's face screamed. I had no choice. I must confirm if it's my husband. I excreted my 2 tentacles from my nostrils. They flowed out longer than I was tall. The only way to find out if my husband is in there is to tickle his nose, and really tickle his nose. No intimacy, only merging of minds. The man screamed in terror. I plunged my tentacles into his nostrils. This is confusing. Where the 9 hells are you on? Can I have some? Okay. I'm a bit lost. Yes, me too. So are we the one who was different? Yeah? 'Cause he said, "Who are you?" Huh. Here's the thing. I would have expected him to not recognize who we are. So if we remove this, he never left the house. Maybe he was someone we kidnapped, you know? And he didn't know who we were. Like the narrative was that the husband was kidnapped by us. And we were obsessed with him. Yeah. Subject of this horror story. Sounds like a good time. Not sure if I want tentacles in my nose. Thank you, Cornelius, for submitting it. Oh, my internet dead? Oh, no. Are we the baddies? We are the baddies. Your name, Unicorn Hunter. Oh. Unicorn Hunter. Oh. Tentacles. Oh, Lord. Their body snatches and the husband left his host body. Interesting. Unicorn Hunter. Oh. I remember when I was a kid, about 5 to 6 years old, when I was visiting my grandparents' house. My grandparents had a red altar outside their house where they would pray. Oh, is it a Chinese one? So when I was wandering about outside alone, as fresh incense was already placed in the altar, I saw the smoke of the incense and the Chinese characters behind it form an outline of a person. I could see very clearly the figure of a small person within the altar. The being's outline was very subtle and fine, but I could make it out that it was a man wearing an emperor's hat, the one with the strings of beard in front of it. I thought I was hallucinating, so I crept closer and closer to the altar, and the figure was still there, standing like an NPC. So I ran closer to it, but he vanished. I returned back to where I stood before, and I couldn't see it again. I was so freaked out but intrigued by it, so I ran inside to tell my parents, but they thought it was my imagination. It wasn't until I was older that I realized the character behind it was the Celestial Palace Grant's blessing. Palace Grant's blessing. So anytime I passed by one of these altars, I would always do a double take to check if anyone was there. Huh. It wasn't until I was older I realized the characters behind it was the Celestial Palace Grant's blessing. What is this? Here's the thing though. The incense sticks, they're known to be the food of gods or spiritual beings. So during Chinese ghost months, you will see them stick it on the ground or like in a pot and with gold paper burning next to it. And they sniff these incenses to eat them. Yeah, so in a lot of Chinese houses, whether inside or outside, some people have it outside, some people have it inside, you know it's a Chinese person's house when you see these red altars. It's not big, it's maybe the size of a suitcase, like a mini suitcase. And it has like red roofs, the decorations are red, and then it has a pot in the middle where you can stick your incense in there, and they're supposed to sniff these incense. So it's kind of like an offering, yeah. Like a picture of a statue. The outline thing, I don't think is rare, because usually people see this during Chinese ghost months. You will see the outline of the ghost, yeah. Like you will see the outline of the spirit. But I have never heard of it in an altar. Usually during Chinese ghost month you will see it, but not during the altar. I'm not sure. You encountered a red altar before? Yeah, it's all over Malaysia, yeah. Some people prefer to have it, some people prefer not to, because sometimes it's bad for certain people to have them in their houses, depending on like who you are. But I'm assuming Unicorn Hunter is a Chinese person, if that's the same altar we're thinking about. Next we have Zisan. Tell a story, no face. A blind date couple was having a lovely dinner at a fairly good restaurant. "Excuse me, I'll be right back," says the woman as she stood up and walked to the bathroom. She returned several minutes later. "Thank you for the meal. It was very lovely, but we promised my father would be returning before 11 p.m. "We should get going then," says the man. As they reached the woman's house, he opened the door for her and escorted her to the front porch. "It was a lovely date. Thank you for tonight," says the woman shyly. As the man got in the car, he received a phone call from his date and eagerly picked it up. "Where are you? I can't believe you left without me." It was the same woman. He looked back towards the front porch and saw a figure wearing the exact same dress, the same handbag, the same hairstyle, waving slowly without a face. "Hello? Hello?" The woman on the phone slowly fades. He checked his phone to make sure it's the same number. He turned his head towards the front porch. Gone. Suddenly there she was, faceless, sitting in the front passenger seat beside him, screaming, muffled. Worst case scenario is when you accidentally destroy an altar by accident, that's just opening Pandora's box. This one's terrifying. Screaming, muffled. But yeah, this part is creepy. Where you can't believe you left without me. How does she know that they promised her father they'll be returning before 11 p.m.? Not the big chilling kind. It's terrifying. It sounds like the Japanese yokai. It does, doesn't it? Thank you, Zisan, for sending it in. Ooh, we got one from Honey Arts. Title of story, Under the Stairs. I was babysitting my baby cousin one evening. The rest of the family went out, so it was just me and my baby cousin at home. We were in the living room. My baby cousin was sleeping in my arms, and I was just chilling. I was facing the living room entrance where I could see the kitchen and staircase at the end of the hallway. I had a feeling someone was watching me, so I looked down the hallway to the staircase, and there was this figure standing under the stairs. I could only see the shape of it. I quietly phoned my parents, trying not to wake my baby cousin. When I looked back, it was gone. A few months later, we called someone to do cleansing. We found out that there was a few more of them around the house. We had to sacrifice a few stuff or animal to get them to leave. That's terrifying. So, did they leave in the house? How did it? A few more of them around the house. This sounds like a true story, not gonna lie. You have to sacrifice a few stuff and an animal. Huh. Well, at least you didn't alert it, I don't think. Some sort of offering to appease the spirit, yeah. I think this happens very often, right? Like, things are just lurking inside the house. That's why people say, like, they would rather buy new houses and new apartments. Because you don't know what happened in the past. Like, heck, even if an old person died in that house, there's still someone who died there, you know? So then people are always like, oh, I want to live in a brand new house, newly built, so then you don't have to experience any of these. Yo, that's terrifying. Thank you, honey, for submitting. Ooh, we have one from Easy Kyles. The lady in the house. This story is from back when I lived in the second story of my parents' shop and I'm still in my primary school. We went out at noon to have some fun. To save electricity, my parents would switch off all the lights except for one tiny light per room on the first floor. When we finally returned, I unusually stormed off and ran towards the second floor. I can't yet enter because there's a separate locked door. Then, as I wait for my parents to climb up the stairs, I heard a spooky yet somewhat quiet Pontianak-like laughter from the pitch-black second floor. This spooked me a bit and I ran towards the hallway of the stairs where my parents were and walked behind them. They opened the door and turned on the lights. There's no one there. It also doesn't help that the bedroom hanger casts shadows that look like a human in skydiving pose, reaching for the floor. Fortunately, that's the only time I've ever experienced paranormal activity. What? They tend to live in that place as if it's in their own home, not binded, but more like the place is easy and comfortable for them to live there. That's true. They just get attached to places, I think. Pontianak-like laughter coming from the pitch-black second floor. That's scary, Easy Kyles. Do you still live there, by the way? Oh, back when I lived in the second... Okay, so they don't live there no more. Dang, that's terrifying. Next we have Zephyr Haru. Am I saying it right? This real story that just happened like 2 weeks ago. Okay. 2 weeks ago, recent real story. I was on my way back to home from Cyber Cafe. Usually I take a very late night stroll, but it was so late, like around 1:45 a.m, so I decided to take a shorter path. The surroundings awfully quiet, though thought someone was gonna play Merchant Bola. It's like a firecracker, I don't know. And the weather was clear. The route that I took led me to a playground. I walked around the area, but then, of all the things in the background, one of the 4 swings just swayed back and forth on its own. I stopped myself from continuing walking as I was being skeptical since it's Ramadan though, and observed like 5 minutes and it's still swaying as if someone was playing on the swings. I took a look around the area. There's no bikes, no bicycles whatsoever. I even licked the tip of my index finger to measure the wind, but there was no wind at all. The lamp shines bright and there's no one in the playground close to 2 a.m. I thought my eyes were tricking me, but I was wrong. My skin suddenly felt chills. I got chickens up as long as I kept looking at the swings swaying non-stop. So I decided to dash back home without thinking. Ayo? It's one thing for you to leave, that's true, but what fucking bills do they pay? This is terrifying. Maybe, well, it is Malaysia after all, right? Or Indonesia. Maybe it's Jindo, or Chinese or Indian ghost. Because I heard during Ramadan, there's not supposed to be any Malay ghosts coming out, right? Satu Malaysia exists even in the spiritual world, I guess. Bro. And that is terrifying, especially if the swing starts creaking. That's also scary. Maybe you should head home earlier, Zephyr. Bro. Thank you. Thank you for the story. I will read until we have 10 entries, and then we'll move on for the next time. Satans are locked in hell during Ramadan. That's what I heard as well. Maybe it's not a Malay ghost then. I think it's maybe like a Chinese ghost or Indian ghost. Next we have Joshua Neely, the creature in the forest. When I was little, I used to go camping with my cousin who was in the army. And he used to tell me scary stories about the kid who was abducted and brought into the forest where we usually camp and was never heard of. Tonight would be the horrific night of my life. When I was preparing to sleep in the tent, I helped set up and I heard a loud scream. I looked around but there was no one there. But I made a big mistake when I turned back around. It was a ghost that cried and screamed, twitching his head in front of me, sitting right next to my cousin. I covered my mouth trying not to scream, but the thing was horrifying to see. And then it just vanished and the sky was beginning to turn blue. On that day, I will never forget about the time I saw a ghost and nearly died on that night. Joshua? What happened? Did your cousin see it? Let's see. I heard a loud scream. Sitting right next to my cousin. I covered my mouth trying not to scream. The thing was horrifying to see. That was rather quick. That's terrifying as well. Imagine witnessing this in real life, you know? That's not a pleasant experience, I don't imagine. Dark Assassin, thank you. The sounds of the roof, oh lord. Cause I'm sleeping like a log, yeah. Having moved into a new house, the family known as the Lex were settling into their new humble abode. The house was a simple 2-story house with an attic and a roof. Their 2 kids, Sean and Timothy, pleaded with their parents and after much persuasion were allowed to use the attic as their room. After many long hard hours, the parents had finally finished moving all of their items into their new home. By then they could feel pain right down to the bone. So after having a warm bath and a quick dinner, the family went to bed. Just as the 2 children went to bed, they heard a slight tapping noise. Click, click, as they were tired. They thought nothing of it. The next day, while they were coming home from school, their neighbor, an old and scrawny, informed them, "Whatever you do, don't be in the attic alone." Not thinking much of it, the children went back home, ignoring the old man's words as they kept sleeping in the attic. But the noise was still there. Eventually, they told their parents, who, after hearing about it, told them to just sleep in the room downstairs while they called in pest controls, the next day thinking it was an animal. While Sean followed his parents' order, Timothy, who didn't want to sleep downstairs, decided to sleep in the attic instead. That night, when Timothy went to bed, the sound had gone away, as if it was never there. A peaceful night at last, Timothy thought. But in the morning, Timothy was gone, and the sound came even louder. Panicked, Sean rushed into the attic only to turn up and see a mouth as wide as the roof stuck against the ceiling, and hanging off his teeth, Timothy's pajamas dyed red. Wait, what? Wait, what? Sean rushed into the attic only to turn up and see a mouth as wide as the roof stuck against the ceiling, and hanging off his teeth, Timothy's pajamas dyed red. Eh? It's like Monster House. Have you guys ever seen Monster House? Monster House, like it eats the children. Attic ceiling is alive and ate Timothy. It did. Timothy, this is why you should listen to your parents. Goddamn. Thought it was an AOT Titan. It might as well be. Yes, I saw it. It was a good movie. Yeah, Monster House was good. Saw it in theater. It was good. You know what? It doesn't help that I hear thunders in real life. I'm hearing tapping sounds from my upstairs neighbor. I'm hearing fireworks. Damn, I haven't watched that movie for so long now. It's time to rewatch it. Monster House. Really good. It was ahead of its time, I have to say. Thank you, Dark Assassin, for sending that in. Alright, we're down to our last 10, in which I will end it right here and we will read it next time. Ayo. Terrifying moments. Hold on. You know what's weird? You know what's really weird this whole time that I've been constantly wondering? Is where's my cat? Where is my cat? Because usually he would meow throughout my stream. He would meow and get me to open the door. But I don't hear him at all. I don't hear his bell. It's not jingling. He's not moving. Usually he would eat around this time. I don't hear it. So where's my cat? I don't hear him. Sleeping maybe. I have to go look for him after this. He hid? No, he if he knows I'm telling ghost stories, he would jump scare me with his meows. He would meow even louder. That was too scary to come by. That's so weird, right? If you come by my streams in the evenings, you would hear him meowing at least every single time, like once. That's weird. That's really weird. I have to go look for him after this. Hey, bet. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's ASMR stream. It's more like soft-spoken ASMR than whispering ASMR. But it's always a good time to hang out with you guys. And if I may, I just want to say one more time that the Google form will always be open. So feel free to submit your horror stories, no matter what day, what time it is. And if we do another horror storytelling stream again, I will announce it on my social media. Now that you pointed it out, right? Right? It's already almost 2. And my cat did not meow a single time. He did not make a single noise. Isn't that fucking weird? I don't even hear him walk. Like his collar is not even moving. That's weird. I have to go look for him after this. And also, I will be streaming more on Twitch because I've been experiencing a lot of copyright issues on YouTube. So please expect more streams to be moved to Twitch. Let me give you my Twitch link. So in the future, I will be streaming on Twitch more and more until I can get my YouTube issues resolved. So please go follow my Twitch. I will be more active on there. Try to call for he doesn't answer most of the time. Yeah, bring a weapon with you. I will. I will. Okay, so I will see you guys tomorrow on Twitch. Tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, later tonight, I will be streaming a game called Hell Coming. It's gonna be a collab, a horror game collab with Koi, Nibluya, and also Kurebi. Hell Coming is a game where it's like Phasmo meets Power Wash. So we have to clean the place while ghosts are haunting us, and we have to figure out what ghost it is. So that's gonna be interesting. We're gonna be paranormal cleaners. So yeah, that one will be on Twitch. So again, please go follow my Twitch. I will see you guys there tomorrow. And thank you for coming to today's stream. Looking forward to more horror readings. Thank you. And the next one might not be ASMR. So then I can have sound alerts on, as well as give you guys more reactions when I read, because sometimes I want to squeal but I can't because it's ASMR. Like I'm holding it in and then my skin is crawling, you know? OCD ghost hunters indeed. Thank you for coming to today's stream. Let's take an end stream screenshot. If you are here, say ASMR. I'll take a screenshot. Alright. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Alright. I've taken the screenshot. Thank you for dropping by. Don't forget to subscribe in case you haven't. And drop a like, it helps the channel out very, very, very much. We are also very close to 6k subs. We have hit 5.5k subs today, ayo. So please do subscribe. Yes, my 6-month debut anniversary is coming up soon, so I will be doing some celebrations with that. Yeah. Good luck for those who want to sleep tonight. I hope you don't sleep under your bed in case you see something that you don't want to see. And try not to look out the window before you sleep, because you might just see something on the other side. Thank you once again, Carrot, for the raid. And if you're coming from Carrot's raid, please show her lots of love and take good care of her. And I hope you come back here again as well. Plan not to sleep, I see. You have your insecticide by your side, you're safe. What if it's on you? Do you spray yourself? It's only been 6 months for you? Yes. Yes, but honestly, I didn't expect time to fly by. It only feels like I've been here for maybe 3 months or so. Gonna burn this house if something spooky I hope nothing spooky happens to you guys tonight. Then again, it's almost gonna be Ramadan soon. Not Ramadan. Raya soon. So does that mean the demons are gonna be out when it's Raya? Does that mean they'll be released? Food for thought. 6 months, more like 2 years. Ooh, that is so true. She grew up so much. It is already Raya. They be out now? I think you meant Aid. Wait, are they out now? Hantu Raya. You have made us all proud, thank you. My demons will be unleashed and eat every single cookie later. Drink more water. Not now, but soon, I see. That's what I thought. So guys, stay safe. It's nice to celebrate, but you know, when there's something good, there's always something bad. They're still packing. So yeah, celebrate Raya all you want. Just know that the demons are out. I'm just kidding. I'm pretty sure the festivity will ward them away. Alright. お疲れ様でした。すごい좋습니다, 여러분. Thank you for coming to today's ASMR horror storytelling stream. We didn't get to read any creepypasta stories, but maybe next time. And maybe since I'm going to be streaming more on Twitch, we can start doing video reviews. Maybe I can watch some clips of horror, like paranormal activities. Yeah, that are on YouTube. Maybe I can go look up the compilations and we can watch them together on YouTube. Hi Nuna Chante, hello. Lempepe. Duit Raya mau, aku juga mau duit Raya. Otsururi, thank you guys so much for coming. I will see you tomorrow, or sorry, later today on my Twitch stream. It's called Hell Coming. Yes, do drop by. It's gonna be in the evening, GMT +8. Alright guys, otsukare. I love you guys very much. Bye bye. Sleep tight. Before we go, I just remembered. Secret ending, ayo. Let's raid somebody. Let's go raid Foul Noah. He's a clipper. He's working on some of my clips. You guys will see him more often in the future. So let's go raid him. He's currently editing a Hololive clip. Okay. His name is Foul Noah. Alright, otsukare. See you guys there. Bye.